All right. Welcome back, guys. This is episode 15 of the Rant and Bollox podcast.
Still counting.
Still
getting up there.
Still counting. Good old 15. How's the week been for you, man?
Busy.
Yeah.
Busy but good.
It's been
lots of movies, lots of watching the filmings.
You know, it's been a good week. We've had some good tech news with the Apple conference yesterday. We've got some good gaming stuff with E3 coming up.
Yeah.
And then Wonder Woman.
Releases. Yeah. Wonder Woman came out.
Wonder Woman. We've both seen Alien now.
Yep. So we'll have a big chat about that.
Gosh. And yeah, so on all of those fronts, there's plenty to talk about.
Yeah. So you don't need to listen to the rest of the podcast.
That's everything.
That's everything. You've heard everything.
Have you got anything that you want to talk about or want to start with, or
tech-wise, or movie-wise, or
depends what row you want to go in. Do you want to just go to traditional? Do you want to mix it up a little?
Well, I know that you have something you want to get off your chest about the whole Apple conference.
Yeah,
so it's going to be a ranty week.
Yeah.
So maybe we should get into.
We'll go straight into tech, because one of the things with my tech is the entire tech talk today is just about the Apple conference, because they announced so much and there's so much to talk about. I won't go into everything, but there's a couple of things which we talked about last week, which I thought is kind of funny,
right?
Because they announced a few things and we made some predictions last week, which they kind of hit.
They discontinued the iPad.
They took everything off the shelves.
Everything's gone.
So no, the first thing was WWDC, an Apple event. It's a developer conference that happened yesterday, and they announced like new Macs, so they updated their Mac line. They announced the new iOS, which is one of their biggest things, which is the software on the iPhone,
right,
and iPad. They announced like new iPads, and then the software for that was pretty cool. A cool little secret project called a HomePod, which is like an Amazon Echo and Google Home.
But that little Alexa thing?
Yeah, the thing that you can kind of talk to. The first one, which I just found the most interesting, was the new Macs. So they updated to Kirby Lake, or
Lake.
I don't know where we ended up with that name.
I don't know.
I'm saying Kirby because of bloody Nintendo Kirby.
You got that little pinky guy dancing along.
Every time I say it, I think of him. So they updated that. But it's the way Apple can sell fucking ice to an Eskimo. You know? It's the way they sell it. They're like, we've gone and updated our Macs. We've given you more value by updating it to this processor. We've given you more RAM. You can do this. It's newer this, newer that. And then the thing that really got me was, and it's all available today. And everyone's just like, oh my God, and they're all clapping. It's available today because it's fucking old technology. Yeah. It's been out on Dell and everyone else.
For a year.
I keep saying Dell. We're not sponsored by Dell.
Sponsored by Nintendo.
Sponsored by Dell Nintendo. No, I just found that funny. It's like the way they spun it. They were like, and it's available today. Like you can go into the store and get it today.
Right.
It's like, well, yeah. Because
which is really shit if you're the guy who went into the store yesterday.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell
you. Actually, Apple do honor those, I think, up to 2 weeks. Okay. So if you did. But,
2 weeks. Well, fucking la-di-da. Thanks, Apple.
But it's just so crazy that,
so everyone's like... just brought out the new... What was it? The new Macs came out?
Were you talking about Mac Pros? Or, you mean the cores?
Like the cores,
18 cores. Well, that's the next thing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you know about this, because you're after a machine, and you said last week the iMac stuck out to you. So, they updated the iMac with Kirby Lake as well.
Yeah.
I think it can take 128 gigabytes of memory now, which is awesome.
That's good.
But they announced yesterday the iMac Pro. So it's out in December.
I don't like this. I don't like where they're going with this.
It's out in December. It's using their space gray kind of dark theme. So you're going to have a dark mouse and a dark keyboard. Like they're changing up their keyboards from the
That's
usual
definitely
white.
Worth several $1,000.
So of course, yeah. So it's
that's what I'm paying you.
It's got to be Pro because it looks like Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So, but same old screen and everything. But it's the 18 core. So you can get it in like 6 cores and whatever, like 12 cores, but it goes up to the 18 core. So I did like that. I like that they're taking out technology.
Even though we have no idea what it does.
However, it's not out till December.
Yeah.
That processor is out, I think, in 2 weeks for everyone else. So everyone else is going to have that. But for Apple,
6 months,
we've got to wait till December, and then you can have it in a Mac Pro. I do like at least they're adopting it, but just going back to the whole, you can have your laptops today, and everyone there is just like, oh, this is awesome, and it is awesome. Like, you might get a laptop soon. At least you're getting semi
The
up to date,
latest
you know.
is
But
one.
it's just the way they phrased it, and they were like, "You can get it today," and it's just like, yes.
Could have got it yesterday if I bought a Dell.
Yeah, I know. So that was kind of cool for them. Yeah, the iMac Pro, and then the other thing that was pretty big news is VR. They're like fully supporting VR now. Strangely enough, not Oculus. They're doing Steam VR, the HTC Vive.
Right.
But what you can do is the new MacBook Pro. So we're both running off MacBook Pros here. The new MacBook Pro has this little port, and it's called Thunderbolt. And the new ones have Thunderbolt 3, and it's like super friggin' fast. Like it puts USB-C and all the new USB to like shame. It's like 100 times faster.
Yeah.
So what you can do with that is you plug a wire from your laptop into an external graphics card, which they're now selling. So it's like a little graphics card. It runs in its own little case, and it's so fast that it can take all the power from it and put it into your laptop, like it was sitting in your laptop, like it was connected to the motherboard. Right. So you can basically have your laptop right there, which is an old one, 2010, whatever. But you could buy the latest graphics card, run it with that wire, and then have like play the latest games and stuff. So
okay.
Actually, technically, you can't do it on that one because it doesn't have Thunderbolt 3.
No.
But you can.
But
just
if I got a dongle to a Thunderbolt.
Yeah. But anyway, the fact that they're doing the external graphics cards means that you can run VR, because VR is like super heavy. It needs powerful
computers. So Apple is finally getting involved in hardware again.
Yeah, they're putting their money where their mouth is, and I do like the external part. The reason why is our laptops are nice and thin. We can put them on our bags, go somewhere. Yeah. But when we go home, we can dock it with this nice, powerful graphics card, which can still really fit in your bag, to be honest, if you wanted. But you dock it, and then you're running like I'm playing Battlefield 1 on my Mac because I have, like the power of it. Right. So when we were doing the VR around my house, I've got my graphics card. It's in my computer, but it's like, pretty big. It's like the size of a PlayStation, the graphics card. You know? It's a beast. And then it's plugged into a motherboard and everything like that. Really, all you're doing is just carrying your Mac laptop, which has loads of power, but the graphics in a laptop always suck. So you're just plugging it into an external graphics card that you can take with you or just have it docked at home. Yeah. But as soon as you plug that in, like your computer is like super friggin' fast for video editing as well. It's going to help with that, especially like 3D rendering and stuff.
So at least they're competing again on all the markets now.
Totally, yeah. So expensive, but
wait, is the iMac Pro, to go back, is that?
Yeah.
Is that going to replace the Pro?
That's what we're wondering.
Little circle black.
We talked about how they fucked up the Mac Pro. Yeah, they came out and said like we fucked up. Like the cylinder doesn't. You can't put anything in it. Yeah, no Thunderbolts. No one's making anything for it. So that's what a lot of people are thinking. If it does really well at December and it like sells out and people are buying them, then I can see the iMac completely taking it over. However, if it just does okay, they'll bring out a Mac Pro like 2 years later. Right. The only reason I can see it maybe not doing as well is because the screen is baked into it. So you have to choose that screen. There's a lot of people out there that might want their own custom screens. Yeah. So you'd want a Mac Pro, and then you can just have your own like LG screen. Whereas with an iMac, you're like, and it's a wonderful screen. Yeah. But you have it, and then you've just got it forever. You can never get rid of it.
Bright enough to blind the average human.
The new screen apparently is 40% brighter or something.
Oh my god! The last one gives you a tan. It's so bright.
We've got the one over there. Yeah, I'm like starting to go blind from it. So
getting those big goggles you see the old people wearing.
I think I have got a tan from it. And I don't tan too well. But so those interesting updates, and then the last one they did for the Mac was the new operating system. So we're running
Yosemite or Cougar or Cheetah, or I don't know what it is.
I think it's Yosemite. We're running, and the new
they ran out of bloody dangerous animals, and then they started moving over to Yosemite.
I know
those ones,
bloody waves and stuff. The new one's High Sierra, so High Sierra, but. The big thing with this is they've rewritten like the file system, so like the code behind it all. So basically, what we're running right now, when you copy a file over to a USB stick or when you copy it on your laptop, it's running like a 10-year-old file.
Why are you copying my files? So, what the fuck are you doing?
Gotta keep an eye on you.
Sneaky bastard.
You should see this kind of stuff that comes up. So,
oh god,
Mad Max. Yeah, so they've rewritten that file system, so it's super efficient, super quick.
Yeah.
So like when you copy a file over to like a drive or just copy it over on your desktop, like drag it somewhere, like, and I'm talking like 3 terabytes of files, like you copy them over, it would take like 5 minutes here, like if it was internal and three terabytes. They copied over like 3 terabytes. It was like instant. It's just like, so they've rewritten that, which is going to be cool. So nice and like...
It's going to be real easy to get that virus downloaded.
Exactly.
Just like that. You won't even notice you've lost all your credit card details.
Straight into the root. So there's some other stuff, but now that I've gone through that, are you tempted by Macs? Because I know you want to get one relatively
well, it's kind
within
of
the
good
next 3 to 6 months.
That Intel 18 core fuck you processor is coming out, like you said, on regular computers.
And let me tell you how much that processor is in US dollars just on its own.
Right.
$2,000.
Jesus.
The 18 core US is 2,000, so it's probably close to 2,500 for us.
Right.
So,
well, like that's going to be out next month or 2 months or whatever. Like 2 weeks, you said. So that means that whoever like can find the problems with that and all that, it should all be sorted out by December. When Mac bring out their version.
There's no problems with them though, because Intel have like tested the heck out of them. Because the thing is,
everyone says there's no problems, and then they bring it out, and there's always a problem.
Well, now that they've
like you bring out this Intel Core thing, and then like half your apps are like, "What is this beast of a thing?"
That's an app, though. That's an app issue. So,
but that's what I mean. Like the whole thing should all be streamlined. So by the time December comes around, Apple won't be like, "Oh, it's buggy. It doesn't work with High Sierra.
Possibly,
all this crap."
Yeah, that's a good point. But do you want to wait till December?
That's what I want to see what this damn Intel Core can do.
But
is
also,
it worth $2,500?
One of the things I want to do is I want to go into the Apple site and I want to just price up this iMac Pro and go 18 cores, please.
Yeah.
And then I think it comes with like 3 terabytes. You can get 3 terabytes of SSD, which is like ridiculously expensive. Then you can get the 128 gigabytes of like super fast memory. I think it's going to go well over 10 grand, like for Canadian, like Canadian. I just want to see that bill and then go like,
buy. Oh, wait, no.
Yeah. Oh, shit, I pressed buy.
Now I owe a child to Apple.
Yeah. I could buy a car.
So in summary, they've updated all the computers, all the iPads.
They've updated
just a brand new iMac.
No, just one iPad. I'll go onto the mobile stuff in a minute.
But basically, Apple have gone back to the fact that they're supposed to make shit.
They're supposed to, I mean, they knew. I think we all knew that they were going to update them. It's just the fact that it's Kirby Lake and it is 6 months old or 4 months old or something like that. And Intel are already these new 18 core processors are their new ones. So I don't even. I mentioned coffee something from last week.
Yeah, something like that. That's the next one after.
But every Dell laptop's going to get these in like another 2 months.
Yeah,
Apple are again behind.
That's what I mean. Like, at least they're trying to, because they brought out the new MacBooks, and then they're like, oh, we should update it again.
Yeah.
Whereas before it would have been like 2 years.
Yeah. So, you are right.
Fine. You're okay with
those.
You
are right, yeah. So, what they've done here as well is they've just opened up the computer and updated it. It's the same chassis,
it's the basic thing.
Like they haven't made them thinner or anything like that.
But that's what people want out of a computer. They just want you to be like, just update this crap in the middle of it. Yeah. The outside of it, you've got that down.
Give us the speed.
Stop fucking with it and taking holes out of the side of it.
Totally.
And just fix the inside so I can use it.
We've carved another 3 holes into the side of this.
So you said there's mobile. They're going to be mobiling iPads, iPad
There's going
Pro.
to be
iOS phones.
iOS 11.
I would have noticed if someone had mentioned a new phone.
No, the new phone is, I think it's September they usually announce it, or before.
Right.
But the new software to go on it. One big thing to note was iOS 10, which is what everyone runs. 86% of people around the world have iOS 10. So every year they bring out one. And that is a really good adoption rate, whereas Android, 50% of people have your latest one, but then 20% have another thing, and then 30% have this, and it's all just fragmented. So Apple have got a really good thing with, they know that 86% of their target audience, of their audience, which is huge, have this operating system. So it means when someone brings out an update or if someone updates an app, they know that, it's going to work for 86% of people, whereas that's a big problem for Android. That's a big highlight. And then iOS 11, it just has lots of lots of like minus like UI tweaks here and there. But one of the big things was it has it was showing off AR, which is augmented reality. So that's when you put your phone
pop-ups in there.
Yeah. So and Peter Jackson has his. I didn't know about this, but Peter Jackson, the guy who did Lord of the Rings, has his own little side company that does AR stuff.
Right.
So he actually showed off a little like game. So they had a table. And they brought up the phone, and on the table, like this whole city grew out of it, like this medieval village. And you could drag things around and say, like, put him here, a bit like a strategy game. Right. But it was just pretty. Like it was pretty awesome to see because, like, obviously there's nothing there, but when you look through the phone, you can see the audience from Apple, but then you see this whole table. Right. So that was kind of cool. They, as Apple do, they bring out the big names like Peter Jackson to kind of show off this stuff. But that was cool technology, which you can do on it. A new iPad, which is like 10-inch iPad, which has smaller bezels, so it's like a bigger screen, same size as it was.
That's the kind of crap I don't care about. Just make the inside better.
Bigger screens. People want bigger screens, man. So
yeah, I guess.
But and then with the iPad, the big thing with that is they're trying to make it more like a computer, which I don't. They should really just put like OS X on it, like what we're running here. Yeah. And then make it so you can use a mouse. But as soon as like say you unplug it, undock it, it turns into the traditional iPad or whatever. Right. But so they're trying to do it so that you can dock things. So it's got its own little dock and you can drag and drop and things like that with your fingers. But it looks like they're trying to basically make it OS X. It's almost there, but not quite. Right. Like what we're running here. So
what if they had like a little light on the side that shone out and then that made a little mouse pad and then you could put your finger on the mouse pad?
I wouldn't put it past them.
That'd be really cool.
Doing that. So.
They'll spend 40 years designing that, so it looks great.
Let's get a painting in. So.
Well, Deller's just like, yeah, we're in VR now.
But in all, everyone's really excited by Apple conferences. It was good. It was good to watch. Yeah. It was a little underwhelming for me. I'm looking forward to like the new iPhone. I think that's going to be their big thing. But it was nice to see. And then Steve Jobs back in the day.
You'll be able to call people today.
Yeah. Steve Jobs back in the day would.
I thought you said Steve Jobs is back. I'm like, that's what you should have. That should have been the start of the conference. Like, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Jobs. Oh my God.
He used to say at the end of his things, "Oh, and there's one more thing," and everyone got really excited by it. And it was usually like, "Oh, and there's one more thing. There's a new Mac," you know, and then everyone's like,
"Yeah, he'd blow the house."
So they did that, but they didn't say one more thing. They said there's something else, and it was this thing called the HomePod. Which is interesting. It's basically like Google Home and Amazon Echo, where you can talk to this little speaker. So it's a speaker which has Siri built in. So you can say, Siri, play the latest album from the Foo Fighters or whatever, you know, and then it will put it on. But you can say, Siri, like take down, put the lights down if you have like hue lights and things like that. But so can the other competitors. Yeah. They're just playing in that business. My only issue is like they're playing catch up again. You know, like Android.
Well, like you were just saying it there. I think that's the difference in. Like we've talked about and ridiculed Mac for it, but it's a truism in that when Jobs was releasing stuff, Mac were at the forefront.
They were innovating. So they're not innovating.
They're not innovating. The competition is right up there.
They're being forced to do it. So I don't even know if they wanted to bring out the speaker. I think they're only bringing it out because other people have it.
They have it.
But they have the technology themselves. So they're like, oh, we might as well compete in the market. But are you really interested in it? You know?
Yeah, they're not innovating anymore.
Also,
like no one's going to like the Mac show. Yeah. And they're gonna do on one more thing. Yeah. There's the new clutch. And you're like, what the hell's a clutch? And then they bring it in. It's like, you attach it to your arm. Yeah, it's going to biomedicate you and take care of it. And everyone's like, oh my God. Yeah, now it's just like, oh yeah, we're making them too. Yeah. We're making it with the same chips that everyone else is making it.
Oh, someone's doing watches? We'll do watches.
We'll do watches,
stuff like that. So the only thing they're pushing a little bit, and I don't even know if it's a good way, but you do need to take risks. Is you see that bar on the Mac, that
touchy bar thing? Yeah.
Personally, I don't think it looks cool. I don't know if it's very functional, but they need to take more risks like that because that could pay off really well. Actually, I think where they're going with that is eventually the whole keyboard.
That's what I was going to hope
LCD,
it would be,
which is cool.
Because I heard a rumor that there was a guy that he had like this idea that the whole keyboard is touchscreen.
They can do it right now,
and then that becomes a different system for a different app. Well, you can imagine so if you're doing like editing in Photoshop, instead of having like the keys,
man. Doing podcasting, it dims, but then it spells out your podcast name on it,
or even like music, like you have a music board, like the bass and the treble and all that.
That's definitely 100%. That's coming. The only reason, half the reason why that's not coming now is price. that keyboard would probably cost $500.
It's true. Like Apple, they really got to struggle for money. Like after they build that giant glass solar powered
which I think
in the middle of California.
They mentioned that as soon as they walked out, which I think is finished now. So he goes, we've got our new campus, because I think this conference was held near it. Yeah, I think it was held in a new place. So they got that conference. That building is up and running. So it's all solar paneled, and inside the center of it is like Central Park. So it's just full of greenery. Yeah. That'd be a pretty awesome place to work. Because you can imagine just like us right now, we're in a room recording, but then we know that we can just go out to like the wilderness out there. They probably got fucking deer running out, running around and stuff like that. But
special apple deer.
But yeah, I think the key thing is, they're not really innovating as much, and I think they need to take a couple of risks. Hopefully they take that with the iPhone. But there was still some cool little updates here and there. Everyone looks forward to their conferences. You know, there's a lot of people that have iPhones, but you know, Google and even Windows are putting the pressure on them. So hopefully they up their game.
I just remember back in the day when Apple would have a conference, it was news. Yeah. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
Like it's just another...
Well, you can tell by when you walk in here and you're like, oh, I already knew that, Alex, because that was, you know...
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, no, I didn't know.
Like, I was actually a little surprised you didn't know about the iMac Pro.
All I did was check the general news sources I generally check. Yeah. And it wasn't front page of the BBC. It wasn't, didn't come up on my Facebook feed or whatever. So I'm like, nothing special's happened.
Yeah. The iMac Pro, as soon as they said that, I was like, oh, that's something you might be interested in. But then I was like...
That's a very niche market.
It's a niche market, and also it's just like, it's too much money. Like, so they said US-wise, and this is not the 18 core, I think it's the 6 core or the 8 core. Starts at 5,000 US.
Oh,
so it
starts
at 5,000. That's US. So that's almost 6,000 Canadian. And that's before you even added a single thing.
That's more money than I make in a week. It's crazy.
So, but it is space grey. It's Darth Vader grey.
Well, that means you're a professional. So the more grim and dark you are, then that means you're actually working.
The funny thing is people like, I'm a designer, so like, I saw the mouse and I was like, oh, that mouse looks pretty cool actually. Like the traditional white Apple mouse, it's now dark grey, and the keyboard there's a guy at work and he was like, I kind of want that dark keyboard. Do you know if they're coming out with it? I'm like, not till December. Like, it will come with that machine. Yeah. They'll have replacement ones, but everyone's like, it's funny how the small things,
people just latch onto. Yeah.
Like,
also, some guy got paid $500 million for that idea. Yeah. What if we make it darker?
Because darker means
Then he just left the building, went home for the day, didn't have to work again for 7 more months.
Exactly. Job done.
So, it's like, how does he come up with this stuff? How does his brain work? He's the new Jobs.
He is the new Jobs.
So what did you think? It was just okay, fine.
I thought it was just okay. I've watched a lot of them. I've got a couple of friends that watch them as well. So I was like, what are you guys thinking? One of my mates was like, I like the iPad, how they're making it more desktop. But I'm like, why don't you just go the whole way and make it a desktop experience? Yeah. They've kind of gone halfway of it. So it has a dock and you can drag and drop things, but you can't do as much as you can on a normal Mac. Yeah. So I'm like, well...
They're kind of hitting that middle zone of...
They are exactly there.
Like iPads and MacBooks are becoming the same thing.
They are, yeah. So I think they should do exactly what Windows is doing. And... basically, when you're in tablet mode, there's a little toggle. You can say tablet mode or you can say Windows mode. So every tablet you see out there that has Windows on runs the Windows that all of us run. Right. But they're just running in tablet mode. Yeah. But when they get home, if they have a mouse and keyboard, just switch it and then you can run traditional and have all the thing. That's exactly what, it's great. OS X should do that. Like Mac should do that. Yeah. I think their only thing is like, they see themselves as like big user experience people, and maybe they're trying to perfect the iPad to be very touch friendly. Like if you can get what we're using here of a mouse and keyboard on an iPad, and you can use it with your fingers, like, just as well as we can of a mouse, then you're onto something really powerful. Because imagine just leaning back on a train and being able to, copy files over and go into an editing software and do this and that. If you could do that leaning back on a train with your fingers, that's pretty incredible. Yeah. I just don't know if... I don't mind. I'll just lean forward with a mouse.
We're just getting to the point, or it's definitely progressing to where your iPad is your laptop. Like you just dock it.
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah.
So Apple trying to fight it just seems a bit weird.
I think so. I think, and also it's possible.
Like if you said like they take a risk and they just say, oh, the new MacBook Pro's coming out, touchscreen.
Yeah.
Just like the iPad.
If we can detach our screens, and then these are Mac Pros, and then we can do all that. Can you imagine, like right now, I just do that,
take the Mac Pro, get the pen thing, and
do the pen or whatever, and put it back on. Honestly, I honestly think they're going to be there maybe in 5 years.
Yeah,
I think they're just being really slow about it.
That's what I think. Like
just,
because again, we're getting good sales from both of them.
Exactly.
So what's the point in killing one of the lines of money?
Yeah,
because they're broke and they really need the income.
No, I think that's it though. I think they've got a bit lazy and they need to start taking a few more risks. Not that they need to because they've got all this money.
Yeah.
So it's just like what they would say, like, why should we risk this when everything is working well? You know.
Yeah.
Well,
why should we risk this as we sit on our giant pile of money?
Exactly. Yeah, like the friggin' thrones, literally.
Yeah.
So we're in a building which generates its own, fucking electricity.
And if you guys piss us off, the rockets will ignite and we'll move to our new planet that
I wouldn't
we bought.
put it past that building. From Avengers, just taking off.
Yeah.
That was an awesome moment. Those what were those ships called? The ones in the Avengers. The first time we saw them.
Oh, the helicarriers.
Yeah. It was in the water, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's in the water, and they're like, "Oh, does this thing go underwater? Is it a submarine?"
And it was
exactly.
Captain America, and it's just like, you might want to get down, or get under in the deck or whatever. So that was kind of the Apple update there.
Cool.
And
if anyone out there is going out tomorrow or today to buy the brand new MacBook, let us know.
I mean, it's all good things. I'm glad they updated it. I think it's got faster memory, better processor, and stuff like that. And it's good to have all that stuff. And I think the screens are brighter and stuff. So that's all cool. It's just
so you can get a tan at home when you're watching your Netflix.
Exactly. So 128 gigabytes of memory on an iMac.
I just said he was an editor. He seems very well tanned for a man who spends all day inside.
He must be a freelancer. He must be on holiday half the time.
He's just on the beaches.
He's on the beach with his wallpaper.
Any other tech news?
No, I just wanted to cover that. Honestly, I had one other thing, but I put it in gaming. But it's fucking hilarious. Should I just take it out of gaming because it kind of is tech?
Well, I have a piece of tech news.
All right.
It was just that I saw NASA sending a probe to the sun. It's going to be the closest man-made object ever to the sun.
Oh shit!
And it's going to measure solar winds and all that kind of shit.
Oh, cool.
So that's going to be awesome.
That is going to be sweet.
We're one step closer to the sunshine.
We are indeed.
So we can sit there with our goggles on, going mad.
I'm taking my question out because, I'm bringing it out now. I'm going to say it now.
Oh, your tech bollocks question?
No, that's going to come after this. The thing that...
this is the one you're taking from gaming?
Yeah, but I just realised now, it's movie, gaming, and tech all in one.
Triple threat.
It's actually a triple threat. And it's comedy.
If it has to do with Game of Thrones, then we're set. Because that hits all the boxes.
No, this has got comedy in it as well, though. So, where is it here?
He's just looking for something now. He's just trying to make something up. You have nothing. It's okay if you have nothing.
Where did I end up putting it?
Our show never has anything anyway. It's all bullshit.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So there's a medical.
I thought you were going to rant at Apple a bit more. You seem pretty.
Well, it was the main thing was the bloody computers Kirby Lake, and they're available today. Of course, like even when I heard it because I was watching it live, I was like, of course they are. I'm like, because they've been out for 4 months, or even longer, But the way everyone was like clapping, going, yeah, I might pick one up after.
Everyone's
this,
brainwashed into being like, oh my god, I can't believe they're
but it's because they're they like the OS X system, and to be honest, so do I. Like I prefer OS X to Windows.
All right, what's this magic bloody triple threat?
Triple threat. It's just hilarious. There's a medical skin care company in Vietnam,
right?
And they it's for people with cancer and stuff, and they help out.
Fucking hilarious so far, Al.
But
laugh my ass off.
Their logo, so that they've just opened or something. Their logo is the same logo from the Resident Evil Umbrella Corp.
Oh yeah.
So and they're all outside the building, and it's like that, and it's the fucking Resident Evil Umbrella Corp logo. I just found that.
And they're
hilarious.
dealing with cancer patients.
And they're dealing with cancer patients, and anyone that knows about it, will be like, is this some kind of joke? I
bet when you translate the name from Taiwanese, it says Raccoon City.
Oh,
that's where they are.
That would be more of an Easter egg. I just found it hilarious. Obviously, good on them for doing the good.
Yeah, they're doing the good work, but that's probably how Umbrella started. Let's face it.
Yeah, it could be, and everyone's just like super happy. I think one of them had like a mask on their face. It's like, don't go in there without the mask.
Everyone looks fine except for that giant guy with half a head in the background.
Yeah, and it's like, who's the boss?
Don't go in the house. That's where it's just the Umbrella house.
And then the boss is a little girl. So
Yeah.
just telling people what to do. Anyway, I just thought it's cool. Hit the good old tech because of the.
All right. What's your bollocks question then?
Bollox question goes in line with the Alien films.
Oh yeah.
We've both seen Alien now.
Alien Covenant.
Covenant, yes. So my question to you is, do you believe in alien life?
Ooh, it's a big question, isn't it?
And there's a few that kind of spawn off it, but basically, do you believe in it? Do you believe there's alien life out there?
It's going to be a 4-hour podcast. We're going to be talking about alien life.
There's like a little bundle of joy that goes with this, like bundle of questions. There's like, do you believe there's alien life out there? I mean, that's one, but I'll say a couple of them now, so we can just chat about it.
Yep.
Do you think we've already encountered aliens? Because we got Area 51, which was a thing when I was growing up. I fucking love that.
It's a
And the other one is,
conversation
if
now.
not, when do you think we will? There's so many questions here, and then also like, what is alien life? Because you know how on Mars they've discovered like water here and there, and if there was like a little insect, technically that's alien life.
And I think that's already been found.
I think
on a certain
that
level.
has,
there has been microbes
but
on
where-
asteroids, and
Obviously, an
it's
alien,
a bit controversial, but
there's an alien as in the xenomorph,
Yeah.
and then there's a fucking tick or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
on Mars.
when
But
people
the
say
first
alien, they
question-
generally mean Vulcans.
Yeah.
They mean like an actual species that's out there knitting, making hats,
But
living their lives.
starting just straight off
That's
with
what space people do to them. They make
knitting hats with
Knitting
long
hats.
Vulcan ears.
Yeah,
So.
you got to get around the ear. You can't go under it.
I mean, there's so many questions, but I just wanted to, we can just hit on a few of them. But the first one, very simple. Do you think there's other beings out there? What do you think about that?
I don't believe there is.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I was expecting that to be.
Because here's the thing, I don't think it's a conversation you can have with belief.
Right.
Because then it's just a faith argument.
Okay.
To me, if you say, "Do you believe in it?" It's like you can believe whatever
Oh
the
sure,
fuck
believe.
you want.
No, I'm saying, do you?
So
Okay,
like
yeah,
I can say I believe it,
Right.
but then science takes over.
Yeah.
So that gets into me of like, there's no proof.
Believe. Let's take believe out the question.
Yeah, but
Do
I
you
understand the point of it. It's like people say, "Do you
Yeah.
believe in aliens?" I'd say I like the idea of it.
I think actually believe in aliens is just taken from, and my bad, it's taken from, do you believe in Jesus? Do you believe in that? So take that off, and do
that's
you
always-
think there's
yeah.
alien life out there? What do you
Again,
think?
no, because
So-
science says no.
Okay.
So in a belief conversation, you say yes,
Right.
but in a science conversation, science shits on the idea. Maybe.
Maybe. Exactly.
And this goes into the big thing for me is, have you ever heard of the Fermi paradox?
I have, yes.
Yeah. For people
Probably
listening,
from
if they
a
don't,
conversation we've had in a bar once or something.
probably, yeah.
Someone's
We've always
mentioned
talked-
it. Yeah.
the Fermi paradox is a basic hypothesis about how life is in the universe.
Yeah.
So everyone always says that Earth is an average. But if you take Earth as an average, well, what's the number? Boyle's number or something? Boyle's number is that if you take the average stars, average planet, average planet that makes life, average planet that makes intelligent life, average planet that's intelligent life gets to the point where it can travel, so us, and whatever number you input for that, so you say 1 in 1,000 planets,
Sure.
and then 1 in 1,000, then 1 in 1,000 all the way down.
Yeah.
In the Milky Way alone, there should be 10,000 planets like us.
Yep.
But if you take Earth as an average, the paradox is that we should see other life, but we don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which means Earth can't be the average. Which means if Earth's not the average,
then it's
then there's no alien life.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
So in the Fermi paradox, basically it comes down to, if Earth was average, we're only 4 billion years old. The universe is about 13.
Right.
So there should have been 2 Earths before us. You know, they naturally would have evolved.
Sure.
From
that time.
Yeah, to get to where we are.
Yeah.
And then if that's the average, based on how quickly we've gone from monkeys to space travel and automated space travel, and like we're sending Voyager and we're sending that sun thing out, it should take us about 2 million years to colonize the entire Milky Way.
Right.
So 2 million years from now, humans, as long as we don't fuck up and Paris Climate Accord goes all well, we're on every planet. Like we're everywhere, like Star Trek. We're just everywhere. That should have happened twice already. There should be like monuments. There should be ancient civilizations. There should be, you know, probes. There should be tech on like every planet we see.
Yeah.
And it's also, we're sending out our radio signals.
Yeah.
And our radio signals are going at the speed of light.
Yeah.
So like the stuff we sent out in the 20s and 30s is now 80, 90 light years out there.
Yeah.
After 2 million years or whatever
Nothing's
it is.
come back. So.
Yeah. So if you're sending out signals for long enough, it'll go all the way across the galaxy. So the moment you turn on a receiver, it should just be like TV channels. It should just have like 1,000 voices from all throughout time. But there's nothing. There's not a single signal. There's one signal I've heard that's a possibility that they found is repeating. But that's SETI, the big thing.
Yeah. But that's so the fact
like
that it's not
compared to what should happen.
Yeah.
Like it should be, Earth is like your house.
Yeah.
And we live in our house.
Yeah.
And then one day we figure out how to go outside. And when you walk outside, it should be like downtown Hong Kong.
Sure.
There should just be billions of voices and noise and everything in the universe. And it's silent. It's silent all the way across.
Yeah.
And we can't find any stargates. We can't find any...
There are black holes.
There are black holes.
Yeah.
But like we can't find anything on this planet that's
I watched Stargate 3 days ago.
We're going to have to do the commentary on it too.
Yeah.
You said. So that's the thing about the Fermi paradox of if Earth's the average, we should have had a sign of life.
Yeah, I know that's they say that with is it time travel? They say the same.
Time travel's the same thing.
The same thing.
The moment you make time travel, you should have gone back.
Yeah,
already.
exactly. You know. So you think out there we're the only planet with?
But that's the thing. The solution to the Fermi paradox. Is again goes back to Star Trek. You know, in Star Trek they have the prime directive. They can't interfere with any civilization less advanced.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So the way they generally say you're advanced enough is when you make warp travel.
Sure.
So the Vulcans, once they found Earth had made a warp ship, they came back and they said, "Okay, you guys are okay."
Yeah, that was first contact.
That was first contact. The Fermi paradox, the solution to it, one of them is there's nothing out there. The second one is we're in a bubble.
Yeah.
And all the other species out there are really advanced or whatever, and they're just
like we're going to avoid these guys.
If these guys get past the stage of blowing the shit out of each other, and they figure out, you know, quantum physics, or they figure out how to make a wormhole,
sure,
then we'll talk to them. But right now, they're just fucking idiots.
That's definitely a factor. Actually, that's a really interesting one, because you'd also think like everything goes to plan, and like, you know, they might have had that plan of don't interfere. Yeah. But do you think someone would have broken a rule, or something would have gone wrong, or something would have, or I don't know. It's just like it's like
who's manning the wall?
Who's manning that? Yeah. But then you could argue that the people that are out there aren't that advanced either. So there's not that many of them. Yeah. And they're like, well, we can't afford to fuck this up. So like, there's not like millions of ships avoiding us. You know? Yeah. I mean, there could be. But,
that's the thing. There could be. It could. We're just in a little bubble.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then there's other solutions like we are a simulation. Yeah. We're just running on someone's computer. Right. We're just like, let's see what happens. So that's one of them. There's other solutions that are like much darker and much scarier.
Oh yeah, and it goes deep. Yeah. It's just like, I guess. So what do you like? You know, you just mentioned that. Is there people manning this wall or whatever? Do you think there's people manning this wall?
That would be a good thing. If it's like we're just being watched until we're ready. Yeah. That would make the most sense and be the best case scenario, I think.
Do you think...
Because if it's one of those like, the moment, like the dark scenario is once you are recognized, then they come and they kill you.
You're done. Yeah.
You're done. Yeah. And there's just one species that like 1 billion years ago, they got way up. Yeah. And they just crush everybody. Right. That's the bad case scenario. Sure. The good case scenario is the Vulcans. It's like they got really advanced.
Hey guys.
And they're like, oh, the universe is nice and perfect. Yeah. But we have to take care of the idiots. Yeah. While they're running around. Yeah. So like the children. Yeah. So we're children running around banging our heads like, look, we're not giving them the car keys yet. So just keep them in the playpen until they're ready to go. Yeah. So that's the best case, but like the other solution, which is probably the scariest one, I think, is
It just gets scarier and scarier.
Well, there's really scary ones, but like the one I find the scariest personally is We're Alone.
Yeah,
that's the scariest.
No,
one.
I know. Just as you were saying, saying like, what was that rule you said at the beginning one?
If we're the average,
that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, the Fermi paradox.
And it's just like, fuck, yeah. What happens? Or even if there's just two out there,
yeah,
you know, and it's just like, well, we're never
way over. Yeah.
You know, yeah. That's actually the scariest one.
Yeah, because if we're the only one, we're responsible for everything.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we are like
we're the gate. We're like the garden tender. We're the the gardeners of the universe.
The other thing with that is
the gardens of the universe.
But eventually, other planets might develop life. You know.
Yeah, but even then, there will be we're the first.
We're the first. Yeah, of course.
We're the ones who have to go out to the rest of them. And
yeah,
do we have a prime directive or do we have to smash so no one gets up to our level?
Going off here, I'm just going to throw a little sidewinder in there. If we had an alien race, Vulcans, whatever, they came down and they were like, hey, just letting you guys know you're doing all right or whatever. And anyway, they just exist. They weren't a threat, but you could tell that they had like a warship or something. You know, you could tell it was some
they
kind
could
of
fuck us.
But they were, you know, like NASA are like, we can see this big vessel. It's the size of Texas.
Yeah.
These guys are from whatever. What do you reckon? Do you think the world would come together?
That's the Star Trek world.
So, yeah.
Once we found out there was aliens, it took like 150
do we put
years
our things
and everything
aside?
was perfect.
Are we going to get these fucking attacks still going on and stuff, or is it Armageddon where we come together, or is it, you know,
like, are you saying the aliens come down? They're fine.
I think they're fine, but do we have like a reality check where it's like, hang on a second here, like,
yeah,
there's a bloody ship the size of Texas out there.
Yeah,
like,
and that's their small one.
You know,
that's their scout ship.
Yeah, something like that. So I'm just curious to see, like, do
you think people could actually come together over it?
What is, you know, Korea just like, all right, let's put these differences aside, you know, and all that lot, and it's you know, let's try and get some tech off these people.
I think it comes down to how the aliens treat us.
I think so. Yeah.
If they were decent enough, or like they just popped in every couple of years, being like, all right, let's. Like, all right, so there's space travel, and there's planets out there. I think that would give people a little bit of a reality check. I don't know how good it would make people, but it would definitely be a case of, oh, let's start putting money into NASA.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be so much let's put money into nuclear bombs. It'd be like, well, NASA, let's get into space. Let's see what's out there.
Yeah. Would you?
If they came out and kicked the shit out of us, then it might bring us together in the whole Independence Day.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. As soon as they bomb somewhere.
But I've always had a problem with that. You know that. Like, if an alien race came and actually attacked us, we wouldn't have a hope in hell. We wouldn't have a hope in hell.
No, we'd probably. I mean,
it'd be like a stealth bomber going after cavemen.
We would do a lot like what we do in the movies. We'd be like, "Nuke 'em," you know, kind of like that. I feel like we would.
And then they'd just be like, "Nukes."
Yeah,
we haven't used them for 7,000 years.
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
They'll just turn it around or something, or just be like, "This is weak."
Yeah,
you know.
What's the thing about like this? Just to go off on the tactics of aliens in all the movies.
Yeah.
They come down.
Yeah.
And attack us. If they just float
I know,
where the moon is,
we're
like, well, shit. None of our nukes can reach the moon.
Yeah,
they're just poo. We're dead.
They did that in a film. I think it was Star Trek. It was like the Borg or something, and they were attacking a surface.
And they were just stayed out of reach.
Yeah,
and
they just stayed out of reach or something like that. Yeah, it was something, and it just made sense. I was like, this makes sense.
It's like a giant man fighting in real small. He just holds his hand on his head as he swings. That's the way it would be.
We
could unite. I don't know if we would.
I don't think we would actually.
No.
I don't think we would. I don't think
we'd
I
go
think
off
some
on
people would.
Lose their shit.
I think it would just go. Yeah, there'll be also chaos down here. You know, people just like, oh, we're doomed, or
well, you'd have all the people like you said, like North Korea, but then you had the religious part of it, of like some people would lose their religion, being like, oh, okay, there's no God.
Yeah.
Then there'd be other people being like, what's the alien God?
Yeah.
What do they believe? Because they're more advanced than us, so maybe they know a better idea of heaven and all this stuff.
What about a random select, and you got selected, or a yes or no to go on the ship and to go back to their planet, which is
close encounters kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a week away of their light years of whatever traveling. Would you take that opportunity, knowing that it could all go tits up as well?
You kind of would take it, wouldn't you?
You'd almost want to. I don't know if I would.
Not unless you could bring a cat.
I'd probably
Bring one of the cats.
bring one of the cats. I'd be super interested in going up on the ship, but even to be honest, like I don't even like flying. So just to get up there, is it a teleportation or is it a bloody vessel?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's the shit going through in my mind. You're like, I want to see another planet. How are we getting up there?
You're like, is there a lift? Is there stairs? Do you have a giant stairs that you drop down?
I mentioned one other thing as well. Area 51. Do you believe in that shite?
Area 51's a.
I shouldn't really say believe in that shite. Because it could be a thing. Could be a thing. Or is it just a myth? Is it just the like Americans?
It never surprises me that where they build super high tech jets and fighters is where people see weird shit.
Yeah,
like that doesn't seem so weird.
It's in the Arizona desert or something. Isn't it? And it's a
it's
facility.
super top secret.
It's top secret. Not really anymore. They probably moved it, but like it's top secret as in like. Even so much that people didn't know where it was, but then Google Maps came out. Yeah. And then it was just like, it's blatantly here, guys. Yeah. But it's obviously underground. But there's obviously myths and stuff with UFOs. And,
the crash at Roswell and all this. Yeah. Again, it goes back to how do they crash and why are they flying around? Like, logically, when you pan it out, it doesn't make sense. Because if you always think about it from our point of view, you can make your little story up. Yeah. But when you think about the logic of like traveling through space, that requires super advanced technology. Sure. Like and you hit a little rock, the whole ship's going to explode. Yeah. So you've got to get sensors that are moving. Oh yeah. And if you're moving at the speed of light, like you have to go faster than light if you're going to have any kind of travel. Yeah, yeah. Or you're going to have to create wormholes. It's like that's not technology that just falls out of the sky. Yeah, yeah. Like that's the most advanced thing in the world. It would be like, like a stealth bomber crashing in downtown Toronto. Like, what the fuck happened there? Yeah. Or not even that. Like, it would have to go back. It'd have to be like a stealth bomber crashing in the 15th century. People are like, how did this happen? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, there's no way of detecting it. There's no way of seeing it. It's too high up. Totally. So how does this alien ship crash in the middle of Roswell? Yeah. You know, there's obviously stupid solutions like there was a couple of drunk alien kids, took their dad's car out and crashed it. Like, that could happen. That could be one of them. Yeah, yeah. I don't think that big a secret could be kept that long. Can you imagine that? If, like, a spaceship crash landed and you were like, holy shit, like, backyard, whatever. Yeah. And then, it's an invasion. And then these two aliens come out. And maybe they look like us, maybe they don't. And they're like, just don't tell my dad. Yeah, I'm sorry. Just don't tell my dad. Shit. Like, he's going to kill me when he finds this. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and also hopefully there's no xenomorphs or xenomorphs out there. The really dangerous aliens. The really dangerous ones. So. Well, that's one of the dark solutions to the paradox, which is, if you get to a level where you get noticed, then something really nasty comes and kills you. Yeah, yeah. There's like the Galactus solution, which is one, like, you know the way we're building, not probes, drones. Yeah. We're going to get to the stage where we create a completely mechanized, like Skynet kind of system. Yeah, yeah. We build one of them that's like a Earth defense system. Sure. It goes haywire and it just goes out into space, killing every alien race the moment it recognizes where they are. Yeah. And it just goes planet to planet for all time, killing every intelligent race. The Borg, basically. Yeah. But it's just a machine. It has no intelligence, no emotion. It's just the programming got fucked. Yeah. Like that's what Skynet was. Like it saw all the humans as dangerous. Yeah. So it's like that, except we create a space demon thing that just goes and kills everybody. Yeah. So us here on Earth, we're like sending out our radio signals. It found it and it's like on its way now to kill us. Coming back. It's like, what was that? Like Transformers radio signal? As well, yeah, Transformers. Yeah, that's interesting. There's other solutions like there's other ones where someone could look down on us and be like, well, they're fucking each other up anyway. So we don't need, that's like more of a joke one, but like one of them is that if you advance enough and you're an advanced enough alien, that they're already here, they're already out in space. Yeah, we just cannot see them. We're just not advanced enough that they can even communicate with us. Sure, yeah. And people are like, oh, well, what do you mean? They're advanced. They should be able to talk to us. Like, yeah, okay, go talk to an ant. Yeah. Go explain to an ant to get out of your house. Yeah. And you're like, what do you mean? I'm like, go to that ant and explain to him. You're advanced. You can make a rocket ship. You can go to the moon. You're a
Sure.
human being.
Yeah.
Go tell the ant to leave.
Yeah.
It's like, but the ant can't understand. Exactly. We're the ant in this situation.
Yeah, yeah.
They, as amazing as they are, they can't even talk to us because
Sure.
they're like, these guys are fucking idiots.
Yeah. That's an interesting way of looking at it. You know, just like we're fucking ants, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And they're just like, it doesn't even cross their mind. It's just like,
Yeah.
there's no need.
And even if it did cross their mind,
So-
they're like, well, I don't even know how to deal with them. They still talk with words.
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
it's like, crap, what are we
Yeah.
going to do now?
Yeah, they're still doing the word thing.
Yeah.
So,
They're still individualizing things.
Yeah.
Just forget these stupid things.
They're only on 4K TVs.
I loved all the ideas. I love the theories. You got that, like you were saying, Alien had one of them. Prometheus went into it of like, aliens came down and they taught how to make the pyramids.
Yeah, yeah.
One of them was Jesus. And it's like, yeah, that's cool theories, but it doesn't hold up. It doesn't make sense
Yeah, yeah.
if you're that advanced. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I always look at like the examples of like, I know I shouldn't use humans as the average, but how do we deal with situations? Like, we don't go into places, show people how to build shit, and then leave, never to talk to them again.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't happen. You go in, like, you build shit and you start a new country.
Sure.
Or, you know, it doesn't, we change and we spread information. And it doesn't make sense that aliens would come down
And just bugger off.
5,000 years ago, be like, build this giant rock thing.
Sure.
And it's going to line up with these stars. And we're going to fuck off now. It's like, what?
It
What
is
is that?
strange that they're lined up very, very close to those stars, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
it is.
but yeah,
And yeah.
I don't know.
But it doesn't make sense for that to happen. It's like, oh, they're waiting
Yeah.
for what?
I know,
They've
I know.
already come here.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, none of that makes sense.
What do they need to do? Yeah.
Yeah. So then you look at like I can't remember the name, the Yamato tribe or whatever, that tribe that's like in Brazil,
Yeah.
and everyone just leaves them the fuck alone because they're still the way they were like 1,000 years ago.
Right.
You know, they live in their shacks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like they're protected.
Yeah.
I think that might be Earth. That's
Sure.
one of the solutions. Just like, these fucking idiots.
Just leave them alone.
They're doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Leave the planet alone and
Yeah,
just go around the solar system. Just
Yeah, it's strange because
don't
we
go
see
near.
ourselves as like a massive planet, but really we're just like a little speck, you
Yeah,
know,
tiny speck.
and that's.
Yeah.
I think it's the way you said it with the whole speech thing. Oh, they're still just using speech, you know, that little speck there. We don't need to bother with that for another 2 billion years. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
they're not even going to notice what's going
And
on.
then suddenly it's like, oh, it exploded.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
Like, oh, okay. They didn't figure out time travel.
Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever. They're still good.
It's like looking at a grain of sand saying
Yeah.
they're still using speech. Nothing to worry about.
Yeah,
you know?
that's just always when people talk about alien life and aliens are coming down and aliens have been here and they visit us. They're always at our level.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. You're just making it at your level because then you can understand it.
Sure.
And that doesn't work scientifically.
Yeah.
Like, that's like taking someone from today with a MacBook Pro
Yeah.
back to Leonardo da Vinci. And da Vinci's like, oh, this is like my thing. It's like, no, this is nothing like anything you've ever understood.
Yeah.
So that's why, do you believe in alien life? I'm like, if it's out there, it's nothing like we've imagined it to be.
No, I mean you can like, yes, it's an alien, but really it's a being, it's another being, but it's just like you said, it's completely so advanced that you can beyond your dreams.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's the good scenario.
It's not going to have thrusters. It's going to be bloody, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't even know what it's going to be like.
Yeah, like we're still like sitting here thinking about, I wonder if we can make wormholes and black holes. And they're like, you guys have no idea. You have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah. Which is the same to me of like talking to somebody today. They'll give you all these things of like black holes, wormholes, time travel. But you go back 400 years, they don't even understand that. I think that's where we're at. We're like, we're so advanced. It's like, you know shit about nothing.
Yeah.
You're still out there with your Hubble telescope being like, oh, we can see stars.
That's the crazy thing. Like, you even look at like on a much smaller scale, but 3D printers and stuff. Just like the fact that you can 3D print something, whereas you go back 100 years, and just show them even 100 years ago that we're 3D printing objects to fit into here, or they can be shaped like this. That
they don't even need a human being involved.
That's mind blowing.
Yeah, the machine does it itself.
That jump is mind blowing. But for another alien race that could be out there, it's just like it's a completely yeah. Now that we've just said that, I mean, yeah, there's so many things you can.
The
roads
3D
you can go down
printing is part of the not solution, but how we colonize the world or worlds in 2 million years.
Yeah,
we just send out 3D printing robots.
Yeah. I think that's what they want to do on Mars. They want to just 3D print houses,
yeah,
like a base. So you only have to bring up like components, like the materials. You don't have to bring up a team of home base.
Yeah,
you know, building.
But all you've got to do is you create.
So a machine that will build more machines.
A machine that will build more machines that's powered by solar power.
Yeah.
And then can excavate material from wherever it lands.
Yeah.
You build enough of them, they colonize the universe.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's not complicated.
No, yeah, yeah. It's just, yeah.
You build one, that's it.
Yeah.
It'll build 5, and then they'll build 50 and 1,000.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's how you colonize the whole universe.
Yeah.
That's why the Milky Way being empty is very strange.
Sure. Because someone, you think someone would have done it already. So,
like anybody who's interested in exploring would, which is why one of the other solutions for the paradox is that some species, or not some, every species gets to where we're at.
Yeah.
Then they, instead of killing themselves, they make VR machines.
Right.
That are so good.
They're stuck in them.
They don't want to leave.
Yeah.
Because why would you want to go into space and nearly get killed?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or why would you want to work hard, or when you can just have a robot, like creation, like not Matrix in the bad sense, but
no,
like,
I know what you mean. Like
never have to
perfect
eat.
world.
Perfect world. It's like, why do we leave?
Don't need to go out here.
What experience do you want to have? You want to fly?
Totally.
Put on your helmet. You can fly, and you'll feel it just like you feel it, and you're all set. So that's one of the things of like, instead of being interested in going out, we'll reach. I think there was a couple of worlds
in Star Trek like that. I remember they paid a visit to a couple of worlds like that, and they were just like, "It's perfect here," and everyone's like, "This is bloody amazing." Like, there's no need to leave.
Yeah, they don't build spaceships. They don't build probes. They don't look anymore. They don't send signals. They're just like, no, we have everything. Yeah, and everything we can imagine, we can program and experience it, and we're all going to live forever.
Oh yeah,
because we all clone ourselves. It's like. Yeah, why would you leave? Why would you go out and get like
it's true
radiation poisoning or hit by a meteor or whatever,
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. What about you? You believe?
I do believe, but like even having a conversation like this that kind of changes your opinion on it. As in, I'm leaning more towards now. I don't know the answer, obviously, but that we are just a little speckle. We're just this little sand.
Yeah.
Piece of sand, and that we're not advanced enough that they need to worry about us or even interact with us. Like, why would they, unless there's only 3 of us, and then they're like, oh, there's someone else, but it's just so many scenarios. It's crazy just to think how big the universe is. But it's just more about, I think we are that little speckle, and I think we are the ants, and we can't speak the language. So I don't think it's that there is other humans like us out there, and they're just in their medieval times right now, and we're in this stage.
That's one of the other things philosophically about it. It's like, that if a tree falls in the wood, does it happen?
Right.
If there is, for a fact, another planet like us, but it's on the other end of the galaxy. Sure. And no signal we send will ever reach them. Right. And no signal they send will ever reach us. Yeah. And there's no faster than light travel. Yeah. There's no wormhole we can build. Does alien life exist if we can't prove it? Like, is belief enough? Yeah. Well, I mean... Like, I'm telling you for a fact that's out there, but I can never prove it as a fact. Yeah. So does it even matter then? Like, does it only matter when we can prove they're there? It's out there because it's a fact, but... That's what I mean, like that conversation, like, do you believe? Yeah. Like, it comes back to that. You can definitely believe. Yeah. And it could definitely be true that they're out there. But does it matter that they're out there if we can't talk to them? I mean, no, it doesn't matter, but but they're still there. But like for some people, it could be just enough to have that feeling of like, oh, we're not alone. That's the whole thing. Is like knowing that there is something. Like we'll never see them. Yeah, but then it becomes a religious kind of thing of like, it's out there. Yeah, I believe they're out there, and that changes things like with with people's beliefs and religions and stuff like that as well. So I think for people it goes either way. Like some people, they get the idea that there's life out there, and that gives them a sense of responsibility of like, we have to be better, we have to live up, we have to if they're less than us, we have to be able to take care of them. If they're more advanced, then we know that we can be better.
Yeah.
But there's also the other one that is the scary one, which is we're alone.
Yeah.
Which should also make us responsible.
Scary, but at the same time, like...
That's it.
Yeah.
There's nobody's ever going to visit Mars.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to find this beautiful planet out there. No one's going to go faster than light or solve the mathematical equations.
Sure. So
if we don't take care of ourselves,
then
no one gets to take care of the universe.
It's true, yeah. But then, we're like, once we're gone, we're gone. Like, I mean, I don't know. There could be. That's another question, but
we could solve it. We could solve all these things. We could be the first, last, and only one, and we could be the Celestials for the next fucking universe.
But we don't know. We don't know.
Yeah,
and we'll always be questioning that until the Vulcans come.
Until the Vulcans be like, "All right, you guys did a good job." We're like, "What do we do? You updated your Macs." Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think that's.
I knew it was iOS 12 that would solve all their problems.
I think it's the question of like, are we? And like, we could go another 100,000 years.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the planet lasts.
Yeah.
And everyone on that planet could still be asking the same question. Like, are we alone? Even though they've hit Mars, they've hit all these other planets.
Yeah.
And they're still like, are we alone? Just the question keeps you going, keeps you striving. And I don't know if we'll ever find out.
No.
So.
I like how it's religious in a lot of ways because the ancient myths of the Greeks and Thor and Odin and all that.
Yeah.
They're myths, and nowadays you don't even think of them as a religion. They're just like something that happened.
Yeah.
But aliens are like the modern myth.
They are, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Everyone knows the story.
Yeah.
Somebody goes down a dirty country road at night.
Yeah.
And then their car breaks down. Then there's a light.
Yeah.
Then they get abducted. Then they get brought back. Maybe
Crop
they got
circles.
anally propped.
Yeah.
Crop circles were a hoax and all that. But it's still, they look like grey things with big heads, black eyes. They're like 5 foot tall and they have saucers.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Yeah.
But that's a complete general delusion. Like, it doesn't exist.
No.
It's just like somebody had a story. Someone else had a story.
Yeah.
Someone made a fake tape about Roswell. And now we're all like, oh yeah, that's it. That's aliens come in saucers and they have grey heads. And it's like, that's a myth. We're living through our own myth.
Yeah, we've created that ourselves. That's why when we say like if there's aliens out there, they're going to come down on a ship. It's like, no. Like these guys, if they are out there, they'll communicate in a way that we won't even understand unless they can lower themselves to us. And they might communicate through... I don't know. I can't even imagine what it would be. But
just one of them
because of films and everything, and like what we've built up.
The
we're
myth
just like,
of it.
Oh, they'll levitate down. Or the drawbridge will come down, or whatever. Yeah. It's like no, it's completely.
No, what'll happen is they will take our planet, move it to where they need it to be, and then talk to us there.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it in another podcast, but the end of Men in Black with the marbles.
The marbles.
I always loved that. It's just like this is how small your bloody universe is.
It's also like, it seems like this religious thing, the same question that we've always been asking. When we were cavemen, we wondered what was in the sky.
Yeah.
And we made up God.
Yeah.
To make ourselves feel better.
Sure.
But now we've gotten to the point of technology and travel. We're still asking what's in the sky.
Yeah.
But we're not giving it the stupid, like, magic power thing. It's just maybe there's other people like us out there.
Yeah.
And science is sort of like, well, this is how life evolves. And like, oh, okay, so there's other planets.
Yeah.
Maybe there's other life out there. But it's still the question of, like, what's in the sky.
Yeah. And you need that to strive forward.
That's, like, that's what got us to where we are now.
If someone was to say, like, there's nothing out there, mate. It's like, we wouldn't be going to Mars. Well, I mean, Mars is a different thing. But if
that came back? What if it came back and it said none? What if that was a fact? Right. Somehow, someone
I'd still think
made a super telescope that could look at every planet, and they said
there's nothing. We'd still
there was never anything.
We'd still want to go to other planets, I think, but
do you think people would lose
desire.
their shit?
There'll
and
be less
like
desire.
Crazy, like
Armageddon.
Just be like, oh,
I don't think
there's
so.
no purpose.
I don't think so, because who on this planet right now is like living because they think there's there's life out there. We're just going about our own. This is kind of what I was going back to with, like, we were born and then we die, we're both going to die.
Our happy-go-lucky podcast.
Well, but it's just like, you know, knowing there's alien life out there or there's something else out there or whatever, you know, it's like, it doesn't really change me. Like, I'm not, you can argue that it might change like grandchildren 10 years down the line or something. Yeah. They might have the opportunity to go out there or something. But I don't know. Look, my thinking is I'm getting onto my ship.
Yeah.
If we're the only ones in the whole universe and someone was to confirm that, I'd be like, oh, all right, okay. Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
But if they were saying like there are planets out there or whatever, or we found this other planet,
right?
But we'll never reach it.
All right, here's a scenario, what if scenario. We find another planet with life on it.
Yeah.
That's intelligent.
Yeah.
Sends us a message. We send them a message. They send us a message. Everything's hunky-dory. It's been like 10 years of back and forth, right?
Yeah. Lovely.
And they say, come and visit us. And they send us all the plans for like how to build a ship.
Yeah.
But we can only build it once.
Yeah.
Would it be worth it to send people?
What do you mean we can only build it once?
Like the amount of material it takes to build this thing,
right?
Is like all our nuclear plutonium, all the core. Like it's not something you can just build in a week.
Depends what the relationship.
This is the biggest single human endeavor of all time.
It depends where we are at that stage, whether we are on Mars, whether...
Or actually, sorry, let me go back and change it. We don't know. They're intelligent.
Okay.
But we have a signal that there's life.
Sure. So
this mission could prove there's life.
Sounds like fucking Alien Covenant.
Yeah. But if we had a mission that could prove definitively yes or no there's life out there.
I don't think they...
How much should we...
Not all of Earth's resources. I don't think so.
So you don't think it's worth that to know?
No, because you're sacrificing the world. For how many people are going to be aboard the ship?
4. Maybe
Definitely
5. Someone will sneak on. Someone always sneaks on those.
I don't think so because of the resources. However, if it took like, you know, every single country had to give up like 20% maybe. Yeah. But it's not going to be like the world is going to literally not going to have any more of this after. I don't think that would ever happen because I think they'd instead of a ship with humans or something, they'd send something like a stupid probe that might get there. It might just be like an Atari probe. Right, you'll get there or whatever, but use like half as much. I think they'd rather spend 50% of Earth's things, no humans on it, but they can get a photo or something, you know? Instead of 100% of Earth's resources.
Everything has to go to make this happen.
And there's 4 people, you know? Because, I think it's just so many factors. Because where would we be? Like, is Earth in trouble? Like, is global warming?
I don't know. We're writing a movie now.
Then maybe is it worth it and stuff? But it's a question that can echo on for a while. It's probably going to come
up again in another podcast.
Oh, it definitely will. I just wanted to bring it up I watched Stargate, so that kind of. But it was made more Alien, you know, like how that they. We'll get into our review, but in Alien Covenant, and they heard that sound
and they went down
track, and they were like, "Oh, let's go down," which I thought was a really interesting scenario. They had a planned route, but they were like, "This place seems better," you know, and like, would you do it? Basically, like the question you just asked,
like how much is it worth?
Actually, if I was on that ship, I'd probably do what they did.
And Sunshine has the same point of like
they do,
the Icarus
with the ship, isn't it?
Yeah.
Icarus, So
they're like, is it worth it?
We need to do our mission, but however, these guys, you know, are on here and stuff like that.
We have twice as much, and all that.
So
that's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, it's a question which will probably be like part 2, part 3.
I'm sure we'll have a bunch of people now commenting. They do believe, they don't believe.
Yeah,
is belief enough? Is science enough? All the solutions to the Fermi paradox.
Yeah.
Galactus is going to eat us.
And we'll transmit this out into space as well. Make sure everyone else is hearing it.
Yeah, so. And if you want, just tweet us at Rant and Bollox or rantandbollocks@gmail.com. Send us a message.
Oh, yeah.
And
give us your thoughts.
On the last week's one, we were talking about cyborgs.
Yeah.
A couple of people were commenting on that.
Yeah, I saw that.
There was comments like, you saw one of a phone.
The phones, yeah.
The one thing about a phone being a cyborg thing, which I get.
It's not part of you.
It's not part of you. It has to be biologically attached to you.
It's affecting you, but it's not part of you. So, well, what happens if the phone was just... Yeah, okay, so actually attached to you.
It has to either replace or enhance a part of you that's already there.
Sure.
That's, I think, the definition of a cyborg.
Right.
Because otherwise, like a pen and paper...
Yeah.
like it's helping you do your memory or do your mathematics instead of your brain. No, it actually has to, like, you have to replace your eye with something that is the phone's, augmented reality thing. Yeah. And then somebody else was commenting about how if you brought up the thing of like a tennis player getting the pinky finger.
That's right, yeah.
Having a cyborg. It's like, oh, it doesn't give him an advantage. Yeah. It's like, well, what's an advantage? Yeah. Like if I was playing you and I lost,
you get fatigued.
The first thing I would do is blame your fucking finger.
Of course, yeah. So
like you could talk to the cows come home.
Yeah, yeah.
And the cows come home all the time. But when they come home, they'll be asking you about your finger as well. And you'll say, well, my finger, it doesn't make a difference. It's just it's the strength of a regular finger, and it doesn't have any extra power, and it's all this. And I'd be like, bullshit. Your finger doesn't get as tired as I get. And your finger's going to last.
Well, that's why. And I think that's what we were discussing, is that they would have to go into the Cyborg Olympics because they've got that, Yeah. They would have to, solely because of that, They've got a modified part. And you'd always have that argument. You'd always have someone saying, nope, it's unfair, Yeah. So, and you'd have people in the comments, just like we have.
Yeah, and the other comment, I got him there. Colin Campbell was the one who commented that, does the person benefit from when you get it?
Right.
And then if they do, then you have the Cyborg Olympics. And then the Cyborg Olympics would probably have things like standardized parts.
Of course, yeah. And all that kind of stuff. And that's why we were talking about like the F1 where you're like, sponsored by Ferrari.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
And then the other comments was Leonidas and Peterman. Just put the names out there. But thanks for commenting. Yeah,
thanks for chipping in.
Some good points, but yeah, when we play tennis, fuck you and your magic finger.
Well, I've got 2 magic fingers. I had to even it out. But yeah, leave your comments for this alien subject as well. Do you believe in them? Do you think they're out there? Do you believe? Do you think they're out there? Everything we've just been saying.
On your xenomorph one, they could definitely be out there. Like in the way the Prometheus system or Prometheus set up the system. Of like a really advanced race made a really dangerous thing. Yeah. Then that advanced race is gone. Mm-hmm. That could be true.
It's possible, yeah.
There's just all these really dangerous, bloody fucking things out there.
We just killed ourselves before we can get to Skynet or before we can get to another organism,
So, like, there's nothing... The alien life forms that are out there are not intelligent.
But they're there.
Incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It could be a planet.
Yeah, like you get to a planet and it's full of lions and tigers. Like, they're alive and they're alien. But
they just can't take off.
Yeah, they're not making radio signals.
Yeah.
So, the xenomorphs, definitely out there.
Yeah.
Fact.
At the end of all of that, xenomorphs out there.
Yeah.
Let's go find them.
All right. Gaming.
Actually, we should change it up. We should go into movies. We should do gaming last.
All right, let's have a change. Let's have a game. Let's have a movie one. The movies. Not much movie news this week, except Doctor Strange is out on Netflix, which is convenient because we have a commentary.
Very, very nice.
So if you haven't,
Netflix, huh?
Yeah,
they're doing a good job.
Yeah, so that's one thing I saw. Doctor Strange popped up on Netflix. Like, well, if you want to watch it with the commentary, do that. And then I watched 2 trailers this week.
Oh yeah,
I watched Logan Lucky.
Yeah, it looks excellent.
Looks good. Steven Soderbergh. It's got a quality little cast.
I watched all the Oceans on the weekend.
All 3 of them?
Yeah, all 3 of them, yeah. So, partly because of that trailer.
Yeah.
Well, so
I like 1, I like 11, and I like 13, and 12 is okay.
Exactly the same. 11, favourite, then 13, then 12. 12, definitely something missing in the formula there. Yeah. But, I like that the cast are there throughout all 3.
I think the problem with 12 for me is there's no tension in it. It's fake tension.
Yes, because...
They've already got the bloody egg.
They've already got the egg.
Spoiler.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I thought the exact same thing when I was watching it, because I was like, I've seen this before. I was like, how did they beat him? Oh, yeah, they get it before...
They get on the train, and you don't see it. And it's kind of like, at the end they solve everything. And you're like, well, that's not satisfying.
And the other thing...
I know in like 11, it's the same thing of like, they were faking the vault.
Yeah.
But... there was still all the stuff they had to do to get up to that. Of course, there was still a risk.
And the other thing in number 12 is that I can't remember the dude's name, but he just said, it's going to be on a train, here. It's like, well, that wasn't fucking much
the Fox,
effort. It wasn't, so it was just like...
The renowned,
It did have, I did like I guess what you could say, the bad guy, the French dude in number.
Yeah.
And then he's back in...
he's in 13.
I quite like him, yeah.
I love it at the end, he gets the dimes like...
Yeah.
put down.
Yeah, you remember those films well.
Yeah, I like them a lot. I've watched, like, they're good rewatchable films.
And they're bringing out Oceans, correct me if I'm wrong, and you might not know, but
Ocean's
10, or is it 8? And it's women.
It's all women. Kate Blanchett and Sandra Bullock. And,
that'd be sweet.
Yeah, it should be good. But it doesn't have Soderbergh, who's on Logan Lucky, which I think is going to look good.
Slight sidewinder, just going off on one, but I heard Dan Aykroyd was complaining, saying that the reboot of Ghostbusters hurt the franchise. So
well, yeah.
I just heard that the other day.
Yeah,
so.
I didn't know he was in it. He had a cameo in it.
I know. He was just like, it's hurt the franchise. I mean, if it did well, he probably would have said something else and been like, I'm glad to be in this. You know?
We're already getting on our feminism talk as we go into Wonder Woman.
But, Logan Lucky. Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig looks very good, yeah. Channing Tatum and Kylo Ren's in it.
Oh, yeah.
Not Adam Scott. Bloody hell, what's his name?
Bloody hell, mate.
What's his name? I'm not going to look it up.
You're better with names.
So. Kylo Ren.
Yeah. I know the guy.
Yeah.
I know the guy.
I was going to call him Adrian Brody. I'm like, that's definitely not it.
I wouldn't
Adam
know.
Driver.
Is that? I couldn't even say yes or no. I don't know his name.
So that trailer looks pretty good. It looks like they obviously saying Oceans 11, 12, 13. They don't mention any, and Magic Mike.
Yeah.
They're not mentioning the other films Soderbergh's done that are much darker, more serious, and all that.
Yeah,
so obviously it's playing into that bracket. I think it looks good.
Yeah. No, I
got me interested just because I like Soderbergh, and I was like, yeah, it should be good.
Yeah, that definitely stood out to me.
And then the other trailer I watched was Murder on the Orient Express.
Oh,
did you watch that?
No, I did not. I heard about it, but did not watch it.
It actually looks pretty good.
Looks good to you?
Real.
Yeah.
Like, you've read the book now?
No.
Agatha Christie's original book, Murder on the Orient Express. Hercule Poirot.
Yeah.
It's directed by Kenneth Branagh.
Okay.
He stars as Poirot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you beautiful Belgian bastard.
Right.
He's got like this big mustache on it. Like,
I think I saw the cover image.
Do you know the original?
I do know.
The little twiddly black mustache.
Yeah.
This one, Branagh's like, fuck that. I'm keeping my grey hair.
Nice.
And then they grayed up his beard and gave him this big bushy thing that looked like a cowboy or something. I think it looks really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like he just walked off the set of The Hateful Eight or something. Like,
nice.
It looks good.
Yeah.
And then it's got like an all-star cast.
Right.
So it's Dame Judi Dench, Daisy Ridley from Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
So the Star Wars guys are doing good.
Nice.
Johnny Depp is in it.
Good cast then.
Yeah, Josh Gad,
I didn't know all
the guy from Beauty and the Beast. So it's got like I think it's because with that kind of a movie where you've got, I think it's like 10 suspects.
Right.
Everybody's got to be very instantly recognizable. So you can't have time having nobodies.
You don't want to build characters.
Johnny Depp, all right, he's charming, he's sexy, right? Got it. Like you're casting the actor.
Okay.
For like whatever the bloody thing is. So, Daisy Ridley, beautiful, pretty English girl, easy to remember, easy to pay attention because like it's a murder mystery. It's a good book. It's got a good twist to it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna do the original.
Right.
Because I've read the original. A lot of people have read the original.
What did the trailer kind of...
No, I think the trailer was a really good trailer because it doesn't show you a lot.
Okay.
It just has like, there's a train, there's people on the train, then there's a scream, and it's a murder. And then it finishes off with Kenneth Branagh being like, it's actually a very cool scene. You'd like it of... he's walking through the carriage. Okay. So as his point of view as he walks through the carriage and all the people are sitting on either side. Right. And like the name pops up. Get the little graphic.
Oh, sweet. Yeah,
so it's like the countess. Yeah. The butler. The assistant. Nice. As he's walking through and they're asking questions to camera. Yeah. And he's answering. That's so you just hear his voice. That
kind of reminds me a little bit of Sherlock. Also, they did it in Ocean's.
Yeah, it's got a Sherlock-y kind of little bit.
In Ocean's 13 when he was losing all the money.
I love that. I love that when all the money comes up for like how much they're losing on all the tables. Yeah. Yeah. So they've got that little thing. It looks like it's got a good mix of the classic. Nice. But he's using modern stuff.
I'll have to watch it then.
And then it's just, they're asking, he's like, there's been a murder on the train. Because, like, not to give the story away, the train gets trapped. Okay. And someone gets killed. So he's walking along going, there's a murder. Not a very good Belgian accent, but there's a murder. And the murderer is still on the train. So, like, obviously the murderer's there and he's walking as they're asking questions like, where were you? And it's like, who? And then somebody finally asks, like, who are you? My name is Hercule Poirot. And then probably the greatest detective in the world. Yeah. I was like, fucking good ending. And then like it just has like all the cast list pops up. Nice. And just like for a throwback to those good movies full of great actors, just fucking doing a fucking movie.
And it looks that way. They're not going to mess it up.
I don't need the fucking world to end.
Sure.
I don't need a guy in a fucking costume.
The best thing is it's all on that train as well, yeah?
It's all on the train.
That's the best thing.
They might do a flashback to pad it out, but the book is like 150 pages.
Sure.
It's a simple, straightforward, someone got murdered. Yeah. Who fucking did it? I'm excited now. I'm thinking about it. I'm excited.
You've sold it to me. Yeah. You've sold it to me.
Just we watch a lot of movies. We watch a lot of big movies.
Yeah.
Like, these are the movies that they don't make anymore.
Yeah. No,
like
I know what you
mean. $50 million movie that's just in the middle. Good actors doing
raw
a good
acting.
job.
It's all about that. Cameras on you, off you go.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need a green screen or anything like that.
So the only thing I guess would be, is it going to follow the original?
Yeah.
In which case, who's it appealing to?
Sure.
Because I've read it, but not a lot of people have read it.
Would you be disappointed? Would you be disappointed?
No, like that's what I mean. Like, I've read it, so I'm like, oh, they're making the movie of like a comic book. Like they're making the movie that I've read.
Yeah.
But there's also it's the spoiler generation.
Sure. They want to see something new.
They want to see something new.
Yeah.
But the murder on the Orient Express has got a very specific twist to it.
So they'll most likely go with that then.
I think they have
because they'd get too much backlash if they skipped it. You know?
Compared to other kind of like things where you could maybe make someone else the murderer.
Sure.
The way this all plays out is a very particular.
It might be nice to mix it up. They still have maybe that big twist, but maybe like halfway through they change it.
Yeah, maybe.
Something just to keep those guys guessing, but then they stay true, at the end or something,
Because either way, it's got like, you got the older quality actors, you got Branagh doing it, Shakespeare himself.
Yeah.
And then you got Daisy Ridley and Johnny Depp, so you got the younger people being attracted to it.
Right.
So I think it's going to hit a good market.
Yeah, that's cool.
As long as it comes, I don't know.
Next year?
I couldn't remember the bloody, it's this year. But
it's this year?
I think it's November.
Okay.
So it depends on who it's up against, really.
Sure, yeah. That's what I was saying to a friend of mine. Oh, it was a game, though. I was just saying, have you played this game? And then he was like, no, I didn't even know it was out. It was like, because it's been overshadowed by all these other ones, So it's like November. I don't know what else is out out then, but they need to hit that market where it's like, it's not up against like Infinity War or whatever,
Yeah, like
even though that's a different film, though. But
yeah. Still, well, that's like the movies now. Like the last 4 weeks, we've had Alien Covenant and Wonder Woman are sort of like the top of our chart.
Sure, yeah.
But in the middle of that, you got your Pirates, your Baywatch.
Yeah.
And they're kind of falling off. And then the Mummy's coming out this weekend.
Yeah.
And it's just like, holy crap! Like, where do you set yourself up to like?
Yeah. What's that Chris Evans movie where he's on a train? I've seen it. I loved it.
Snowpiercer.
That's
a quality.
That's such a good film as well.
And what else did I watch? I did watch a full movie. I watched Get Out.
Yeah. I know. I've just heard really good things. I know when it first came out, it got like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes for the longest time. Apparently, very, very good. Very good film.
It's very enjoyable. I don't think it's the greatest movie of all time. 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. But worth watching.
Nothing wrong with it. I'll say that for a first-time writer-director.
So from watching the trailer and stuff, like what is it? A horror film?
It's a horror film, but it's a very slow horror film.
Okay.
And the horror isn't. Scary bloody girl in the background scaring blood down the wall. I was trying to think of like a generic horror, it's not like serial killer or anything like that. Yeah. So I think a lot of what the great attention it got was a lot of American reviewers, because it does deal with race and it does deal with that kind of stuff, which might not affect us so much because we're not involved.
Right.
But I think the writer-director's a black writer-director, had a black actor at the start of it, and it deals a lot with the black attitudes and how white people deal with black people and all this. So for all that reasons, it was a big deal.
Right.
It's also really solidly put together little thing.
Oh, nice.
And it's from Blumhouse. Like, those are the guys who do Paranormal Activity.
Sure.
Was not that kind of movie. You're not, if you're looking for
that, it up a little bit.
You're not getting it.
No, it didn't come across that way in the trailer at all. Just going back to The Mummy, because you mentioned The Mummy, that was on my list. I had no idea that was like opening up the whole Dark Universe. I had no idea it was.
Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't know it was doing that. So with like Johnny Depp being the Invisible Man, and then there's
The Rock might be the wolf.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And Angelina Jolie might be the bride of Frankenstein.
Oh wow. I love that it's opening up that universe, and
if the Mummy's good.
If the money is good, which it does look pretty decent.
Yeah.
That plane scene looks insane. So
the rumors I've heard of it is that it's scary, and it's not as actiony.
Okay.
But it's got action in it, so it's the Tom Cruise-y action.
Yeah,
but they're kind of hitting that scary thing.
But I don't have a problem with that because I think everyone's going to expect Mission Impossible.
Yeah, Mummy Impossible.
And they don't need to, because that's also on my list. Is because he's actually filming Mission Impossible 6 now,
and I think he's doing Edge of Tomorrow too, which I know you love.
Oh, I watched that last week as well.
But that's Doug Liman, who directed The Mummy. Don't know if you know that.
Oh, I did not know that. No.
Yeah. So, sorry, no.
So it has
brain freeze there. He's not directing The Mummy. He's directing the other Tom Cruise movie that had the trailer this week.
The American. I didn't see it, but
I was gonna say American Hustle. That's not it.
Is it just The American? Or
American Game or American Made?
Okay, yeah.
Where he's the pilot.
Right. Oh, I haven't seen it.
Doug Liman's doing that, so they did that, and then they're back doing Edge of Tomorrow too.
Wow.
Edge of Tomorrow more tomorrow
with
more tomorrows
with Mary Poppins. So, I'm right in thinking Emily Blunt is Mary Poppins. Someone told me
Mary Poppins.
Someone told me that. Yeah. So.
I'm Mary Poppins. Any excuse to get it in.
No, we need to get it in. But yeah, that
Get Out is being made by Blumhouse, who are famous for doing the shitty bloody shitty movies, and then they do the big breakout
every now and again.
Paranormal.
Paranormal Activity. Yeah.
I think they're working with Universal,
right?
So not every movie's going to be The Mummy in that dark universe.
No,
they're not all going to be 150 million.
Yeah,
they're going to be making like 30-40 million versions of.
Because there's a Frankenstein as well.
There's a Frankenstein. Yeah, so I think like the big guys might get it, like The Mummy, Frankenstein.
Yeah,
but then you might have like a low budget Invisible Man.
Sure. Yeah.
I'd love to see.
I think that'd be great. Man. Yeah. I think that's a really good combo, and like you don't have to spend all that money on it. You can do like a nice little niche indie. Well, not indie, but still. Yeah. Like side film, but yeah.
It just comes if Tom launches it strong and makes a good opening weekend.
Yeah. So.
Then everyone's like, "Yep, throw money at it."
Yeah,
because they've already started. Because if anybody's seen the trailers, like Russell Crowe's in it. He's Dr. Jekyll.
Yeah.
So they're already building to like. He'll have a movie, and Frankenstein will have a movie. But they're all going to be modern age, which is kind of what I don't want.
Okay.
Like I guess it's because like when you grow up and you read the books and they're set in that period, or you read, or you watch the movies and they're like in the classics. Yeah. You're kind of like, oh, that's when the Wolfman should be. Yeah. But you can update it. Like you can. It just. I don't know if they're all going to come together in like an Avengers kind of situation.
Hopefully not. No.
Bloody League of Extraordinary Gentlemen type.
God. That was an awful film. Yeah. So
we're going to have to talk about our reviews this week.
We're going to have to.
That's why everyone's come here this week.
I know. Everyone's bundled in just for this. Well, you've seen Wonder Woman. I've not.
Yes. Can I review it, or are you going to shit on me?
No, you can review that. And then we've also got Alien. But you go ahead with... good old Wonder Woman.
I do want to get into Aliens.
That's a big one.
Yeah. So here's the thing about Wonder Woman. It's the best Marvel movie DC have ever made.
Nice.
That's the way I'll sum it up. Like, if you've watched Thor, if you've watched Captain America, the First Avenger, or Iron Man, that's what you're getting.
Sure.
And there's nothing wrong with that. So, like, I'm not shitting on it. I'm perfectly happy with it. There's a couple of things with the Wonder Woman movie that has to be, I think, unpacked a bit. Yeah. The first thing is it's a lead woman, or a woman in the lead for a superhero movie directed by a woman. Okay. A lot of people kind of overlooking the fact that it's written by a man. Right. But, he wrote, I think, The OC and Grey's Anatomy. So maybe he's a girly kind of writer. But no, in all seriousness, that's a big factor of like everyone's giving it a lot of praise of it's a woman lead, it's a big deal, and I get that, and I'm all in support of it because it's like Get Out. Of course, it's like Get Out's a good movie. Yep. And the fact that he's a black director doesn't really matter, but it matters for that kind of thing. Okay. It matters that he's out there. Right. When Catherine Bigelow got nominated for the Oscar for The Hurt Locker, it's a big deal because it means you're going to have more people in the thing. Yeah. And it's like we talked about with Apple. It's competition. Yeah. Patty Jenkins is a female director who just directed a woman in a movie that made $100 million in the weekend and is as good as most Marvel movies out there. So that makes competition for all the Marvel movies, and it makes competition for all the directors who are trying to be like, well, I can make whatever shit I want. It's like, oh no, you can't, because now not only can I go to a different man, I've got this woman I can go to.
Yeah.
And just like the horror directors are like, well, we'll just have to get like X, Y, and Z. It's like, oh no, now we have Jordan Peele over here.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't even care if he makes, you know, a movie about a black guy. I know that his movie makes $100 million.
Sure. Yeah.
So whatever the product is, the behind the scenes of it is like women, men, black, white, Asian, Hispanic.
Yep.
The more people that are making movies, the better the movies we're going to get. That's just a fact.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there's somebody out there who is the next Ridley Scott, but he was born in Nigeria. You know, the next Steven Spielberg was born in Taiwan.
Of course, yeah.
So that's amazing to get that out there.
Yeah.
But for me, as much as I praise that fact of it, I also like to separate the fact of that's not the movie.
Right.
Like Jordan Peele's Get Out is a good movie. I'm not going to say it's a good movie because I want more black directors.
Right.
Just like I'm not going to say.
Well, yeah.
But that's the point. Like, I think a lot of this attention on Wonder Woman is because people are like, we want more women directors.
Yeah, that's
which
a shame.
I get.
It shouldn't be about that.
It shouldn't be about that.
Yeah,
but at the same time, we're in a situation where
I
they're
know
not treated
exactly,
fairly.
I know where you're coming from.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So as a movie, though, I'm watching. I'm like, it's good.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Sure.
It's not amazing. And there's a lot of little issues I have with it. But I'm perfectly happy with it.
Okay.
And the final thing I guess you have to unpack is like, a lot of people probably went into this thinking DC can't fuck up again.
Yeah.
So the fact that they walked out and it was a good movie, they kind of like jumps up another level.
Yeah. A lot better than Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman. Like a lot better.
A lot better in that you're just going to watch it and enjoy it. This, like, I keep going back to the Marvel movie. It's Captain America, the first Avenger.
Yeah.
It's set in the past. It's set during a war.
Right.
There's an origin story. The first Superman movie, there's a lot of that in there. But the things that make me really like the movie are there's small touches that show that you can make a movie like Zack Snyder tried to make, which is dark and gritty. Because this deals with World War One. It has like guys who's suffering PTSD. It's got like kids in trouble. It's got injury. Like there's a lot of the horrors of war.
Sure.
But Wonder Woman comes out of it looking like a hero because they just do these little things of showing her caring. And like when she sees someone suffering, they just have her like being upset.
Sure. And
when she sees someone in trouble, she says we should help them. And then everyone's like, we don't have time, move along. And I'm like, that's how you make a hero.
Yeah.
You don't have to make the world shitty and make the hero shitty.
Yeah.
You can make the world shitty, and then this is the person who's just like,
slowly,
it should be better than this.
Yeah.
And like there was never a moment where Superman did that or Batman did that where they're like, I know it's shitty. I know I have to do all this shitty fucking stuff.
Yeah.
But maybe it could be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Maybe it's okay to care about things.
Yeah.
So I think Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Do you reckon that's them learning from their mistakes, or that's just?
I hope so. Yeah.
You know.
There's also like in terms of Wonder Woman as a character, it's a good example of who she is. Like she comes from this very naive place.
Yeah.
And she goes into the real world and she's like, oh fuck, this is crazy.
I'm curious, how big a part does Chris Pine have?
Big part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I would say, again, to go back to the example of Superman the movie, the original Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
Like people are referencing how like she looks like Christopher Reeve and they have this scene in the alleyway. He's a lot like Lois Lane in that movie. It's like the two of them back and forth.
Interesting.
I also liked how they didn't make him the girl.
Right.
So it's not like he's in danger and Wonder Woman saves him every time.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, they both go back and forth.
Nice.
So as much as the film is good, like it opens, it's very slowly paced at the beginning.
Okay.
The middle of it's good when she gets to London. There's the comedy bits.
She talked, yeah.
She's not amazing.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I was going to say like a little bit later about the problems with it. But just to go into it is like, I don't know how she's going to do without Chris Pine.
Right.
Because spoiler alert, he's dead. It's World War One. He's gone.
Yeah.
He made a lot of it work.
Right.
He carried a lot of the weight of like.
Now she's relying on her.
Now it's her
Justice League partners.
Yeah, and I'm like, on her own, I don't know what Gal Gadot can do.
Right.
She was good with what she had to do, but if Chris Pine wasn't there,
Yeah.
that could be a very different film. They had good chemistry.
Sure.
He got a lot of good comedy moments.
Yeah.
He played up being a bit of a douchebag now and again.
Okay.
He's also like, sometimes he's right, sometimes he's wrong.
Yeah.
And they have that back and forth.
Nice.
But he's Chris Pine. He's a movie star.
Yeah, yeah. And he's gone now. So.
And he's gone now. And I'm like, what can she do when she's not relying on...
Interesting.
And it's also the characters, like the character we're introduced to. I feel like I'm shitting on the movie already. But the character we're introduced to is a very young Diana.
Okay.
So she gets to play naive.
Yeah.
She gets to play...
She's growing up.
Yeah, she's like,
as she
I don't
goes.
understand... Like, the comedy's like, I don't understand clothes.
She becomes Wonder Woman by the end of it. Like,
Exactly,
she learns her
yeah.
lessons and stuff.
So a lot of the character moments and the things that work with her, she can't do that anymore. She can't play naive. She can't play stupid. She can't play innocent.
Yeah, yeah.
She has to be a little tougher.
Right.
But in terms of like the action scenes are pretty decent. A couple of the special effects are going to be a bit wonky. I know you're going to spot them and be like, ugh.
Yeah, yeah.
But in terms of like the story, it doesn't mess around. This is
Okay.
the start of it.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it.
Nice.
And that's it.
Okay.
There are problems with it.
Okay.
The final act is just every other movie you've ever seen.
Right.
It's Doomsday all over again. It's just fire
no.
and a big guy
Really?
punching. It looks good in terms of like...
We're doing spoilers here and stuff, yeah?
I'm not going to give too many spoilers away, but like she fights a big guy at the end.
Yeah, okay.
And it's just fire. And
Is he a comic book guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that got me was like, I didn't understand. It's a problem with Marvel movies too, so I'm not going to say it's just DC. It's just, there's no message.
Right.
Like I was watching Get Out, there's a message in that. Just watch Guardians 2. There's a message. Like there's a reason you get to the end of the movie and you're like, I understand kind of what he was trying to say here.
Sure.
I know comic book movies aren't usually held to that standard, but we're living in a post-Logan world.
Yeah.
You know, your quality's going up. The kind of emotions you're expecting. So like the end of the third act, it's over and I'm like, it's forgettable. That's the thing about the movie.
Right.
Good but forgettable.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah.
So there's also the part of me, because we've watched so many of these, that it's like, this is a good movie 10 years ago.
Okay.
Which is when
10 years.
like, not that it's a bad movie now, but
Right.
I mean, if it had to come out around Iron Man, Captain America, you're like, this is as good as them. This is great.
Before you went in, you kept saying it was similar to Captain America's.
It
like
is, yeah.
Is it basically
Because
like that?
yeah, like I'm not giving anything away. The start of it, she's in modern times.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
because like she's in we've seen her in Batman, Superman.
Oh, it starts there. I thought it just started way back. So.
It starts here, and
Yeah.
then she remembers the story,
okay.
and then it finishes back in our time.
Right, right.
Which leads to one of the problems I have with it in like a universe kind of way of like,
yeah.
what the fuck's she been doing? Because it ends at the end of World War II, which is 1918.
Right.
She, mild spoiler here, she doesn't go back to the island.
Yeah.
At least she doesn't. I don't even know it's a spoiler, but she says she doesn't. Looks like she has a job.
Yeah. So since World War II up until
That's 100 years.
yeah.
Like maybe there's a
fucking
bunch of
around.
stories in there.
Right, right.
But it's DC's universe getting messed up
Bit
again.
complicated. Yeah.
Captain
yeah.
America, Frozen.
Well, we know.
Unfrozen.
Yeah, woke up, he's in New York
But
City.
that's why there's
Boom.
no Captain America like
Yeah.
thing. It's just
Yeah.
like that's how they solve that
Whereas
problem.
what's
Whereas with this
happened-
one, there's this giant 100-year problem of
Sure.
if by the end of the movie she's like a hero, or at the end of the war she's a hero, and she knows she has to do the good thing,
Yeah.
which is part of her speech.
Yeah.
The fuck she been doing? What the fuck has she been doing?
Yeah.
And so that's one of the major problems I have with it, of like, in terms of like storytelling in the general universe. I'm
Right.
like, how is it that she's not done anything in 100 years that would, you know, become a red flag to Batman or be mentioned by Superman?
Yeah.
Like-
I mean, Lex has done a logo for her.
Yeah, Lex is kind of like, oh yeah, fuck you. That makes no sense now because she already has the bloody logo on her thing.
Oh, God.
Oh, whatever.
I was going to mention something else. Keep going, and
I'd say
I'll remember.
overall like 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean,
Which
like,
is what everyone's
you're,
saying in
You're
general.
you're a critical
Yeah, I'm
like,
critical.
reviewer.
I think that's the point of like being critical about it. Is like I said, 10 years ago,
Sure.
I wouldn't have been as critical.
Yeah.
But now I expect more from a movie.
I actually want to go.
The last 20 minutes when it's just fighting a fucking guy and it's all CG on a green screen, I'm like, balls.
I want to see it more than I did just from your little
Yeah,
impression there. I think that will be pretty sweet.
there's a lot of things that make, like I said, I like how she reacts. I like those little moments of her caring. And then there's a couple of little, like, not laugh out loud jokes, but the kind of jokes they make are just the kind of jokes never got made in a Batman movie.
Okay.
They're just like, oh, we can take the fun, we can take the piss. Yeah. It's not like winking at the audience that far. Okay. But it's definitely like, this is silly. Or I'm silly. Or this. I think what gets her across is there's really nice, quaint jokes. Like, she's just nice, like little perfect little things of just like, she's silly, and it's like, oh, we can laugh at her. She's that kind of thing of like, oh, you guys know how to make a character likable. I know it's cheap. I know Marvel do it every day of the week, but this is the movie everyone expected DC to make. Yeah. But they took them 3 movies to get 4 movies to get there. Yeah. Well, sometimes you trip and you fall, and you need to learn from mistakes. Yeah. And then you fall down a hole and drag people with you. And don't go in. Don't go into it. But was there like a Justice League thing at the end? There's a Justice League thing at the start, which isn't giving anything away. You know the Marvel Studios have their DC have done one of them. Is it just them walking or something? It's like, not them walking. That's a cartoon walking over the hill. Okay. It's they're showing each of the characters. Now I don't know if people can read into this too much, because the characters aren't the movie characters. They're not the actors. Okay. They're cartoony guys. Okay. So you get a Batman, you get a Superman, you get a Flash, you get a Cyborg, and a Wonder Woman. They've introduced a new intro, and there's one other character. Ah. So in the sequence of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and Flash, then there's one more person, and Aquaman. Sorry, yeah. Then there's the 7th. Ah, so is that them? So now everyone's like, is that them doing their thing? Is that going to be the guy who's in the movie? Do you want to know who it is? You don't want to know who it is? Superman. No. That's what I'm saying. This is the sequence. Oh, you already mentioned Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Cyborg, Flash. Yeah. I'm not. And then there's one more. So how do you know? Did you have to look this up? No. I know who he is. Everyone who knows who he is. Who is it? It's Green Lantern. Oh yeah, our old friend who we did the commentary on because he's a piece of shit. Yeah. But who's going to play him? That's the thing. It's only a cartoon animation, and then what happens is the animation goes back, and you see like 100 characters. Okay. But it's very particular in that he's there. You see the 6 Justice Leaguers that are in the movie. Yeah. And then him. Well, he could be at the end of that film or something. You know? Yeah. So interesting. He just pops in. He's like, what the fuck? I could have fucking done this all with my hammer. Or whatever I want. I could have made a hammer. Could have made anything. Yeah. So my Wonder Woman non-spoilery review is, it's fine. We'll just call it perfectly fine. We'll call it your impressions. Yeah. And then I'll when I see it, we'll do like a full spoiler review. Yes. But so my impression is the 3 different stages of, it's the best DC movie they've made. Okay, that's great. But it's a Marvel movie. Yeah. You know what I mean? Okay. So this idea of DC going their own path might be thrown out by this. Okay. The other problem is, and this is something to do with DC, this movie was sort of made on its own. Sure. Off in the corner like a forgotten child. Right. The next movie we're getting after this is Justice League. It's not being treated. It's in the light. Everyone's looking at it. So it might not go down the same direction. I don't know if it might go cheese balls. I don't know if Justice League has corrected itself to get in line. And I don't necessarily want it to get in line. Because on its own as a movie, this is fine. Yeah. Has problems. Yeah. It is a Marvel movie. It's as good as any good Marvel movie, but it has all the flaws that everyone always throws at Marvel movies of like, nothing really matters. There's no tension. Yeah. There's just a big fight at the end. So it's got that, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know if Justice League is... I don't want Justice League to go down that route necessarily. It would be nice if it was entertaining. Yeah. Like this one was. But it's the competition thing. I don't want Marvel and DC movies to be exactly the same. Justice League can't afford to go down just the normal route either. It can't. They can't afford to go down the shite route of Suicide Squad and stuff like that as well. So and it also can't just be an Avengers. No, yeah. It needs to be something special. Yeah. So, yeah. Especially with like, even though it's a year apart with Infinity War, knowing that we know like that's just going to be incredible. But it needs to have some special sauce. Yeah. So, yeah. Like looking at the ratings, Guardians 2 is much lower rated on Rotten Tomatoes than Wonder Woman.
Right.
But Guardians is far better movie than
You just
Wonder
went
Woman.
to see it again before
I went
we
to see it
started.
again, yeah. And it's emotional at the end when, like, you know, everything happens at the end. And you've got this big through line. And it has problems, but in terms of out and out enjoyment, I enjoyed it more than Wonder Woman. And I had more emotional effect on me than Wonder Woman did.
Yeah.
So, like, ratings-wise, don't really pay attention to it.
Sure.
I would say that you should flip those numbers, and she should be about 80%.
The more, the funny thing, the more and more we do these podcasts and, like, we're reviewing things, the less I pay attention to that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
The other day, when we get into gaming, Tekken, like, I love Tekken, still need to buy it, but I said to a friend, I was like, are you going to get Tekken? And he's like, he's a fighting fan or whatever, and he's like, nah, reviews weren't that great.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, actually, the reviews were decent. They weren't, like, amazing. They were, like, 75, 80s.
Yeah, they're not, like, 10
I was
out of
like,
10.
you're not going to buy it because it got 75, 80.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why don't you make your own mind up? Obviously, listen to, you know,
Yeah.
you want to get people's opinions.
Find someone that you trust or someone who's, like, has the same opinion.
Because you have
Like, if someone likes the movies I like,
yeah, exactly,
and I say I like this movie, then they're probably going to like it.
You actually, from what you've just said there, I want to see Wonder Woman more than I did when we started this podcast. I actually kind of want to go see it tomorrow.
Right.
So it's like, whereas I was kind of half expecting you to shit on it a bit more and me to be like, maybe I just won't see it.
I think that's the thing, like, in terms of calling a Marvel movie, it's safe.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot to hate.
But safe in DC world is good.
Say that's
right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the three packages
of course,
as a movie, it's a Marvel movie, it's safe.
Yeah.
In DC world, it's exactly what they needed. They needed $100 million opening weekend with this big woman character that they can now stick on the front of the Justice League movie.
Sure.
So you don't have to look at bloody fucking Batman and be like, remember when he killed that guy? You know, so in November that's going to look great.
Is his parents dead?
I don't know. We'll have to watch it again.
Well, we'll
do another commentary. Our annual commentary on Batman Superman. Then there's the other aspect of it, which is it is a woman director doing a superhero movie with a woman lead, which is great. And it's made a bunch of money, and there's nothing terrible about it. So for Marvel next year, when they're doing Captain Marvel with Brie Larson, they have to step up their game. Mm-hmm. And I think it might not be as big a deal, but I know next March there's the Black Panther movie, which is being directed by Ryan Coogler from Creed, and it's starring.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, I think Michael B. Jordan's joined the cast, and most of the cast is African American,
you were mentioning,
black, or whatever the correct term is they want to be called. So I think that movie will have the same issues of like, oh, we have a black director directing a black actor in the first big superhero movie and I get that. So for Wonder Woman, that's a win. Yeah. And I hope it's a win for Black Panther, and I hope we get more directors doing better movies. This one, it's definitely going to put a lot of pressure on, like, you know, Zack Snyder got Man of Steel and he screwed that up, and then he screwed up Batman Superman critically. You know, I'm just saying, people like those movies, whatever.
Of course.
People can be wrong. It's fine. And he's going to do Justice League. Like, he's had 3 movies where he's not had to answer the questions. So at the same time now, I want it to be a case of like, well, this woman made $100 million movie. Why should she have to bloody answer the questions? Just give her the goddamn next movie.
Of course, yeah.
Like, on pure merit, no, you can't just say women can't direct.
Yeah.
And on pure merit, you can't say Wonder Woman can't make money. She just made more money than Baywatch and Parts of the Caribbean combined.
Yeah.
So that's the best thing. It just means that everyone has to be better.
Sure. Yeah.
So I like that aspect of it. But it doesn't make me turn around and say Wonder Woman's the greatest movie of all time.
Of course, yeah.
I think a lot of people are trying to put too much pressure on it.
I think
like,
so
if this movie failed, no woman can ever make a movie again. I'm like, no.
I was getting that impression as well, that everyone was putting all their hopes on it, hopes and dreams. And I think you and I both knew it was going to be decent. Yeah. I think from your impression, it sounds like it was a bit better than what we thought it was going to be.
It's better than what I thought.
Yeah, it's the whole thing that...
I think my prediction last week was like, it's going to be like Ant-Man.
Right.
Which I'd pretty much stick to.
Yeah.
Like, you walked out of Ant-Man, you're like, that didn't change my life.
Yeah.
But I will watch it again.
Okay, yeah.
My other way of judging things is usually, would I take anything out of the movie? Like Logan, wouldn't take anything out, probably add 15 minutes.
Sure.
In this one, there's things I would take out.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying it's not a perfect movie.
Right.
There's stuff like, it didn't need that. That was too long.
Right. How long was the film?
Not that long actually, but it was
A 2 hour?
2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours. Yeah,
2 hours for
his pacing was a bit weird at the start.
right.
Not that it was bad. I was just like, this does not feel like it feels like a Marvel movie. It doesn't feel like a DC movie.
Nice. Okay.
So
yeah.
Well, once you get to see it, we can spoil it and we can
Yeah,
really
yeah.
get into it.
We'll
Because there are some things that you need to see, and then we can really talk about it and break it down.
Get into a conversation about it.
Yep.
But now we can get into a conversation about an alien movie.
This is going to be a big conversation.
This is going to be it.
Based on what we talk about bloody Prometheus for the last 6 months.
Oh yeah.
Fuck this movie.
I've got notes here. I've got a whole page of notes.
Man, fuck this movie, right? Just fuck. I can't wrap my head around this fucking movie.
There's a few things.
Spoilers from the get-go on this one. Because I can't.
All over.
Man.
Spoilers all over the fucking shop.
Oh.
There's a few things. There's a
fucking load of things. There's a fucking load of things. I'm already off on this one. I can't.
I want to start off with one thing.
Right.
Is that it's great to see another alien film.
Right.
Ridley Scott.
That's debatable.
Was it 5 years since Prometheus or something? It's been like 5 years.
4, I think, wasn't it?
4 or 5.
4 or 5.
I don't know. But
that's how much we care. We don't know fucking nothing about these movies.
When we did the commentary for Prometheus, we were watching it.
Find it now on our YouTube channel.
I was like...
See, that was a plug.
Oh, that was a plug.
See how smooth that was.
There's going to be a little floating button where you can click on it. Not really.
No.
Can't be asked to do that. But
this fucking movie, man.
But when we watched Prometheus...
Yeah.
And the soundtrack and the vibe of the film and the cinematography, I was like, this is fucking awesome. Like, because I hadn't seen Prometheus for a while.
Yeah.
And watching Covenant, like, I had those same vibes. So
right.
Off the bat, loved the vibes. I loved that it had this Prometheus feel to it, and it also had a bit of alien kind of injected into it. That's just my first little comment. Is I like that they mix those.
Yeah.
But then it went down a shitter.
Can I sum up what I think the problem was? The alien.
The alien. Also, they broke the films.
They broke the film.
They broke Prometheus.
Yeah, they broke Prometheus. They broke the original Alien.
Well, technically we don't know that.
I don't count the Alien versus Predator movies.
No, neither do I. Yeah.
They're not canon to me.
Those. Yeah.
But even then, they fucked them
They
too.
did break the Alien movies. Like, I don't want to skip to the end, but basically, Alien.
Fuck it, spoiler time. This is. We've been talking about this for months now.
The original Alien is 20 years after this film. So, but things that happen.
I think it's 10.
Or 10.
No,
but it's after.
20. You're right.
So
Yeah,
I think it is
20.
I don't know. I read somewhere it was 20.
Yeah, this film's 10 years after Prometheus.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just start from the top. All right. So
They
I
need to
did
get
like
rid
the
of
opening scene with David, and
Yeah.
wearing the like white lycra.
Yeah, and he turns him on, and
yeah,
he's
yeah,
a bit
yeah.
of a. He's scary as shit, right?
He's fucked. You know?
The moment you turn him on, you're like, fucking
Yeah.
hell. And he's looking at you like at that.
Does he have a wife? Because I'm frightened for her.
Just waking up at night, just looking at you in his white lycra bloody nightgown. You're like, fuck, what's up? Just getting some milk, dear.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God. Franco. I thought he was going to have a...
Franco got killed right off, didn't he? I like that.
He was. No, I did like that as well. Actually, a lot of people were pissed.
But here's
off
the
with
thing
that,
now, though, with that is again an issue with this movie was the viral marketing.
Yes, I know.
And they had that whole prologue scene where they're all drinking before they go into the sleep.
Yeah,
And if you didn't see that, do you give a shit about the people on the ship now?
Not
and
as much, but that's actually that's a thing for me. That's a thing for me as well. There's so many things. Like, I like that there were relationships on that ship.
But the relationships on the ship, relationship.
Yeah,
ship. They're all married.
Yeah,
they're men and women.
I thought that was good.
There's like 1,000.
The reason why I like that.
We don't have to explain the goddamn plot. People have seen this. We're spoiling the hell out of this.
Yeah, people have seen it.
So fuck it, everyone. If you haven't seen it, stop listening because it's getting crazy. But to me, it felt like somebody at the studio watched Prometheus and said, fuck that, Ridley, just fucking make Alien.
Yes.
And he said, all right.
Yeah.
Ridley being a prick that he is, he made a movie and then stuck alien bits on the start and the end.
Yeah.
Because to me, the start like the first 30 minutes
right.
is a remake of Alien.
Yeah.
And the last 20 minutes is just bullshit.
The last 20 minutes didn't need to happen.
No.
So, you know,
that's what I'm saying. If you got rid of Alien,
yeah,
you've got this amazing Prometheus follow-up.
Yeah.
Which is like, David's a fucking psycho.
Yeah. That's the best. David and
Walter.
Walter, yeah. I wrote his name down. I knew I was going to forget it. Them two they make the film.
Yeah.
Just going back to
that's the film I wanted to watch.
I like the family part of it because when there was a death, it meant a bit more. It meant more like, holy shit, they're fucking dead.
But that's what I mean with the prologue, which I'd seen.
No, but even
if they had kept that in the movie, I think it would have mattered more.
It would have made a lot more difference. I agree.
When Franco dies, it's fun to watch because you're like, fuck Dave Franco.
Yeah. No one cares there. But then even the reaction.
If they had the thing of just the start of it,
yeah.
That 5 minutes would have made a big difference. It
would have helped, yeah, for sure. A lot of people I think thought he was going to be in it more because he was like a famous actor.
Because he's famous,
stuff, But that's just one thing. But
just one of many things in this film.
One of many.
Like walking out of this movie, I still don't know how I feel because it's like a Prometheus. Everything that I liked, I adored.
Yeah.
But everything that they fucked up, they fucked up. And more so than Prometheus because Prometheus was called...
They didn't answer Prometheus either.
But that's the thing. Prometheus was called Prometheus. And we've talked about it and we did it in the commentary. Like, Ridley Scott didn't really want to make an Alien movie. He kind of stuck an Alien in at the end again.
Yeah.
And this one's the same thing of like Ridley Scott has something he's trying to make.
Yep.
And the studio are saying, can you call it Alien Covenant?
Yeah. Here's
and
the thing.
He has to make an Alien movie out of it.
We discussed this in Prometheus. Prometheus wasn't called Alien for a reason. He didn't want it. He didn't want Alien
in that world.
He didn't want that selling it either.
Yeah.
Whereas, so this is the Prometheus didn't really get the best reviews or ratings.
No.
So, like you said, he was told that it needs to have an alien in it.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Prometheus 2 or fuck your whatever the other name he had for it. We're gonna have to call it Alien because we want people to come in through the door. They want people to see it in a cinema, and he needed to put classic alien horror in it as well, and he did. But like you said, he did it in the beginning and at the end.
Yeah, he just bookends it. He's like, he just knows that like the fucking studio are only gonna watch the first 10 minutes.
The last 20 minutes of that film did not that xenomorph on the thing.
That's bullshit.
That is like that was awful. Like I almost was just like tuning out by then. So.
But I could not give a fuck what happened there.
It did not need to happen. But then the fucking David
and Walter.
David and Walter, awesome. And then the fight. I thought it was a little bit too obvious with the fight. And then it was just like, oh, who's alive? And his hair's cut and all that lot. I thought that was
Here's the thing about that.
Dumb, actually.
That's one thing we should go into that really... It pissed me off after I left the cinema.
What's that?
In the cinema, it got me. The twist that David was Walter.
Interesting.
Sorry, Walter's... Whatever the fuck the situation is. That David was there.
Right.
And it got me because they fucked me over. When I was watching it, I watched the end of the fight and he comes out and he's got the cut on his cheek like he'd been knifed.
Sure.
And I thought, it's fucking David. David's done himself over. And then when he's watching the screen and the aliens run around and she's screaming at him, Daniels is screaming at him to close the damn doors.
Yeah.
And he goes kind of like silent for a minute. I was like, it's David.
Yeah.
But then he helps them out and then he's reacting and all that. And then I was watching when he's healing his face. I was looking under his chin.
Right.
Because remember he gets stabbed with the bloody nail.
Yeah.
And I thought that's going to be the giveaway. They're going to have a little scar under his bloody neck.
Sure.
And I watched the shit out of that. I saw this in IMAX, so I couldn't have missed it. There's no scar.
Right.
So I thought it's Walter.
Ah, okay.
And I thought the moment when he's not helping them with the alien, Walter's kind of like taking over, being like...
Taking over him, but not, it's still...
Yeah, Walter's sort of like, because he'd spent so much time with David,
he's
kind of like, maybe I'll just let this play out.
Yeah, maybe he's right, yeah.
And then at the end, it's David. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't see it coming. Yeah. That's crazy. I left the cinema, remembered the fucking scar on the chin. I was like, you bastards. Because you got me, not because you had a good twist, but because you lied. There should have been a scar.
I have to look out for that. I mean, I kind of just the way the film
that's like
going,
the tiny thing for me that I'm like, you absolutely knew what you were doing by not having a scar there.
Yeah, that is interesting. I didn't notice
because
it, I was
someone like me watching it would be like, oh, it's David, or it's Walter, not David.
Yeah.
Because David can't heal himself like that
Right.
quick, or at all, or whatever.
I did love that David was just completely like he's just been abandoned there or whatever because they crashed. So
10
he was
years
just like,
there.
I hated what they did with Shaw from the
Just kill her off screen.
I thought that was bulls.
Like everything to do with Alien pissed me off when I think about it.
Right.
But all the other stuff I thought was amazing. Like, just to balance it out, one of the most amazing things in it was when they go to the whatever it is, the Acropolis or that city.
Yeah.
And they come around and there's that gate with all the bodies.
And
then you walk in and there's more bodies. And I'm like, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like that in a movie.
Yeah.
It's got all this like shades of like Pompeii, of all these people frozen in death. And I didn't put it together that was what David had done at first.
Right.
I was just like, something happened, or the alien spore or whatever.
Sure.
So I was like, that's cool. And I'm like, but what was happening with Shaw?
Yeah.
Making the eggs and all that. Just like,
I mean, he would have killed her or just taken her. Well, she never would have woken up from the cryo sleep or whatever. And then he was experimenting with her.
Yeah, and he's trying to get to the point of like making the perfect creature.
Yeah.
So he makes the eggs.
So that's the whole thing.
But if you watch Aliens,
throws me off. Yeah.
There's the queen alien.
So that's my number one thing. I've written it down here. I've got it bold.
Yeah.
Is that so? David at the end coughs up these little
two
embryos,
little things,
because he's
little
basically
Adam and Eve
he's
embryos.
trying to perfect, isn't he? He's trying to perfect, and that's why we see.
Now he's got 1,000 people to test on. Yeah.
The xenomorph at the end and stuff, and he's like, "This could be the perfect one" or whatever.
Yeah.
But so. What happens with the alien and the queen alien? Also, didn't we see like alien carvings in Prometheus and stuff?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So like, what is time travel?
Like, none of it makes sense because the only solution I could come up with in my head, because I was really trying to think this through, is that David is as brilliant as the engineers,
right?
And both of them, given all the information they've had, would reach the same answer. So thousands of years ago, the engineers created the eggs. And they've realized this is the perfect way of making it.
Right.
And then thousands of years later, David is like the next generation of humans.
Sure.
He's good as the engineers. And now he realizes...
I guess that's the only way. Yeah.
But it still fucks up the timeline.
Weird. Yeah.
Like... Instead of why wasn't Shaw the queen alien or something like that?
Right, yeah.
Because I don't know, maybe it makes sense. Like the original Alien movie, they find the eggs. There's no queen on that planet. The eggs are
on
just
that one. Yeah.
So maybe you can just engineer the eggs without the queen. But it's just one of those questions of like, no one fucking asked.
No, I know. Yeah.
No one gave a shit where the eggs came from. Or if there was a white alien before there was a other alien.
Yeah.
Why did the movie spend so much fucking time on that?
It's almost like he said, like he was forced, like he was starting off with Prometheus, and he was like, you need to put some alien in here. It needs to be called Alien. The whole birth thing really pissed me off. Like the fact that it was like burst out the back of the chest or whatever. Within like 5 minutes, it was like a fully...
Yeah, he's running around,
I hated that. Like, I really, really did hate that.
And then when the alien comes out of the chest, like he's only in there for like 10 minutes. And he's knocked out and David's throwing stones and he wakes up and the alien...
But even then, there was a face hugger on his face for about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like how the hell did the...
like the original Alien was like a couple of days.
It's properly on, and then it dies, isn't it?
Yeah, it dies.
So this one, like within,
it's on there.
He cut it off, and he's got his face melted.
Yeah, it can't be like more than an hour that thing's on.
Yeah.
Impregnates him, and then the thing that comes out of him is like a full alien. Like this is the thing. Everything I hate about this movie is to do with Alien.
Yeah.
Like just don't make the alien bit. Make the bit about this crazy psycho robot. And then there's this normalized like robot that cares about people.
Yeah.
And the two of them having this talk.
Yeah.
And like, how do they deal with
both
being
of them
intelligent?
Talking about it is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like that could have been even longer. It was like a fairly long scene, but it was like it could have been longer.
And the CG was great. They weren't going
on about it. Oh yeah. Like
the camera going back and forth, and it's two fast benders, and this is cool. It's kind of sexy, kissing.
I think it was
kissing a lot of people in this.
It was
weird. We went mental. I like that. Like people like, why is he mental? It's like because he is mental. We talked about this in Prometheus of what's David trying to do? Nothing. David's just fucking mental. Like that's he's not human. He doesn't think like we think. He doesn't have motivations like us. He can just be you know what, I'm going to make this person an alien and I'm going to cut this bitch open and I'm going to send all these alien spores down to kill this whole race of engineers. I'm like, he's a fucking mental case. But he's so charming and brilliant and he completely believes in himself that it's great. But then Walter catches him because he mispronounces it. He gets the poet wrong. Right. He says the poem. And he's saying it's Byron. And he says it was Shelley. Right. And he says if one piece is wrong and it ruins the whole orchestra. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's genius. Yeah. Just like you're not right. There's something wrong on you.
There's a virus in you.
Yeah. And as much as you think you're perfect, you got that wrong. You're not all there anymore.
Yeah. I like it when they're like fighting away and he thinks he's got Walter and then Walter comes back. He's like, you should be dead. He goes, we've made some upgrades. Yeah. There's a couple of lines.
iOS High Sierra.
Yeah, a couple of lines I liked. But what else I got written down here? I had to write it down because I had like a massive list of it. So
well, there's loads in it. Like if we excuse the original timeline by saying that David is as smart as the engineers and that he created the same alien. He didn't create the alien.
No.
It's just that him pissing about, he's like, oh, this is the best way of doing it. Which is kind of what would happen if you had regular engineers working on a project. Yeah. Like if you give people all the technology, they're going to build the same type of Ferrari. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you put all the parts together, it's like, oh, this is the best thing. This is how you get a Bugatti Veyron. Yeah. This is how you make a 1,000 horsepower car. Two engineers who are just as smart as each other would solve the problems the same way. So I can give it that excuse of like, fine, the original alien, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But with Prometheus, just everything in that got thrown out the window. And it just, there's so many problems with that just never get answered and look worse now. Yeah. Like Shaw, why did David kill her? Like, I know I already said he's a psycho, but you never see her get killed.
That's the whole thing, is like you end Prometheus with the ship taking off and they're going to go find the homeworld, and then suddenly she's been experimented on and like he's trying to hide it. He's gone insane, but they don't explain any of that. They just kill her off. Boom. She's gone. The other thing is I'm just fucking fed up of them, like these ships that they're going around. Like there's another ship which they're going walking around this ship again. Like in Prometheus, they're doing the same thing.
Yeah,
in Alien they do it. I know they do it in Alien. It's just, it seems like they've just got this set and they're just using the same set.
They use the same set,
Like I know they're rebuilding it in real life, but still, it's just like, okay, we're seeing Alien Wolves. It's like, it makes me really, really appreciate Alien 2 so much. How they changed it up, you know? But to be honest, even number 3. But I'm just fed up with this bloody crash ship, and it's very similar formula to Prometheus. Like I know I said the trailer looked like it, but watching this film, I'm like, holy shit! Like they're doing very similar things here. Yeah. Also, who goes down to an alien planet?
Oh, don't get started
without a suit, like without a visor.
To me, that's like
these are scientists.
That's the Prometheus problem of like Ridley Scott.
But even in Prometheus, they had a fucking visor.
But what I mean is like, Ridley Scott in this movie, he had the things he wanted to do. Yeah. And then he had the other shit that he was forced or like kind of.
It was very, very
so
obvious
he's just like,
he was asked
how
to do
I get
things.
From here to here?
It was very obvious he was asked to do certain things.
Yeah.
Like he was like, you have to put this in and this and this in.
Yeah, we
and
want
like said,
this. Yeah. So I just think like he just did not give a fuck about like making the stupidest, idiotic people just so he can get to where he wants to get. He wants to get to David and Walter. Yeah. And he wants to get to the alien engineers and the fact that they all got slaughtered. Yeah. And he wants to do all that, but he has to get all these stupid humans there. And he's just like, doesn't put 5 seconds thought in. He's like, oh, he stands on this thing and it goes in his ear. He gets one in his ear. that gives these two, and then they go over there, and everyone's like, sure, Ridley, whatever you want.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's like it makes no sense because this is 10 years after Prometheus.
Yeah.
So why would they be less intelligent and less thing? And in Alien, they have suits, and like these are supposed to be taking care of thousands of people.
Yeah.
Why would they go to a planet that has a fucking distress signal? And nobody's like, well, this seems really fishy.
Yeah.
Why is there a human song coming from this planet we've never seen before?
I found that
it's like you're walking down the street and then like this big scary house with a guy with a knife is standing in the front door. You're like, never seen this house before. Let's go walk in there. You know, it's just...
Yeah.
He just didn't care. He just like... I need to get them here. And I need to get them there. And I need this guy dead. And I need this ship blown up. So that these guys are stuck over here.
The other thing I thought was with the
and it's
engineers.
Stupid. And it takes you out of the movie.
Yeah, I know it does. With the engineers as well, you know, when he dropped all that shite on them, surely they've got another fucking city. Surely they don't all just live there.
Yeah.
Like this is a huge. Like they created us. You know, it's just like surely they've got like a massive complex somewhere else. And somewhere else. You know.
Well, I guess they're so advanced. There's only so many of them.
I guess so, but
we're making excuses for.
Yeah.
Although I guess there might be another city on the planet.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
We just didn't see it.
We don't know.
And then the alien eventually went and took them over.
Yeah.
But it's there's just so many things. You're just like, what is happening?
Yeah. It was especially with the ending of the last 20 minutes of the xenomorph or whatever. Like it was just.
I was totally checked out.
I think actually I would have cut that bit out, and I would have loved the film even. Well, I liked it, but I would have liked it more. But then there's one thing that's been happening because I watched it just yesterday.
Yeah.
Now that I've had that kind of sit, there is the whole fucking Prometheus vibes and Ridley Scott vibes, which I'm really really enjoying. After I finished the film, I think it's because of the 20-minute xenomorph shite at the end. I was just like, I just knew that.
You're just numb.
I knew it was forced in the film, so I was kind of annoyed by it. But then, now that I've had time to kind of digest it all, I'm like, there was some cool stuff. You know, like I like them on their planet in the wheat fields. You know, that fight in the wheat fields. Where they're all, you know, little things like that were
little green laser beams going everywhere.
Yeah. There was some, and just like I keep saying it, but the kind of. That space vibe that he pulls off is so good. Like you rarely see it. I love that shit. But yeah.
That's the thing. It just kind of leaves you in the middle of like, I don't know.
It didn't.
I want to see another one.
Oh well,
these films are just like in so much of a mess now.
They've cancelled Alien 5.
They have?
So, yeah, they cancelled it. And then
this is Alien 5.
So
Alien 6. Wait, Alien.
No, Alien 5 is technically going to be after Resurrection.
True, yeah. Prometheus.
So, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, those guys are all prequels. But apparently they were going to do an Alien 5. They cancelled it.
Right.
Because of this film. Didn't do too well. Apparently they're doing District 10 instead. So, like, I'm not sure who.
Neil Blomkamp, yeah.
So, but Alien 5 is completely off the books now. So, which I'm not surprised by because I don't want to see, because I think that being called Alien 5 as well, I think that would just be
confusing,
a full-on alien film anyway. And I don't really want to see that. I wanted to see a continuation of Prometheus, but a nice continuation. This one didn't answer like hardly anything. So, and then David at the end creating the things just like really fucked the timeline up. Like,
and like, I don't want to see another Alien movie.
No, I don't want to see an Alien film.
But that's what they keep trying to make. Like, put guys on a ship, have the alien chase them. It's like, you're just going down the Halloween, Friday the 13th.
I wrote down this. It's like they wanted a Prometheus with a classic horror, like alien film.
Yeah.
I was like, but for me personally, there was nothing wrong with Prometheus. It didn't like there were things wrong. But I enjoyed Prometheus. I wanted to see a continuation and better it, and continue the story,
and just forget the alien
part. Whereas,
but no one's going to bankroll a movie.
But no one's going to do that because the fact that they put alien on the front of the title, and they put like we were at a Union Station and it has alien everywhere.
Yeah,
and then so people are going in to expect that. I did read a couple of reviews, and there are people out there that loved the fact that the xenomorph was in the end, and that was one of their favorite parts. Yeah, but that's their kind of audience. They were going for like
people love the alien.
Yeah,
in the same way people love Freddy Krueger.
Sure.
that doesn't make a movie.
It doesn't mean that just shove them in there and you're going to make money. And it proves it.
Yeah, an Alien is cool because of that. Like, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Ridley Scott does not want to make that movie.
No. Yeah.
So he's stuck in this weird zone of like, he has a movie he wants to make.
Yeah.
And the only way they're going to give him money is if he sticks an alien in there.
Yeah,
and you get this bastardized mess of a film.
Oh, yeah.
And you just walk out being like, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it.
I'm not in any rush to see it again.
And like the question I asked earlier, with like one of them was like, is there anything I would take out of this movie? I'm like, yeah, but I don't know how.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's weird. Like, for
there's
me,
2 movies and they're just fucking. There's 3 movies because Prometheus is in there too.
It is, yeah. For me, it's a bit different because with Prometheus, even like the slow parts, I loved the slowness of the film.
But that's because the pacing was all perfectly done.
I loved it, yeah. Whereas Alien, it was just like, it was too quick. It was jamming too much in. If they did another Prometheus, honestly, if they just did another Prometheus, we carried it on, I would have loved it. But it was too obvious that his hand was being forced.
Yeah.
And then also just like, just little things as in the alien bursting out and becoming full on like creature within like a minute or 2 or 5 minutes. That was shite. Xenomorph.
Like everything that's shite is just clearly him trying to get it done with.
Yeah.
It's like, they have to go to the planet. Would they wear spacesuits? No, they just fucking walk around. He'll stand on that thing.
Yeah, when you dissect
like even that thing, like the spores and all that, it's like, that's just to get them infected as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
It's literally stand on it, goes in your ear, you're done.
Yeah.
Like that takes 10 minutes for that little white one to come out.
The scene where it came out his back, I feel like it was longer in the trailer than it was in the film. You know, like I don't know. I was expecting it to be a bit more like the original Alien.
And they're stupid in the trailer. It's like she's closing the door and there's blood everywhere, and they're like, quarantine this fucker.
And I really
no, we'll just take him back.
I really did not like the shower scene. I was like, it just threw me out of it. Like,
it's just I don't know. It's like it's a horror movie. Cliche. It's like, we need to kill these 2. Oh, they're in the shower. Why is the alien like on the glass and fucking putting the tail up?
And they just wanted to do the whole through the mouth.
Through the mouth, yeah.
One very odd.
Why doesn't he kill anything with his hands? He's got giant clawed hands.
Another really odd thing. What was the fucking fingering joke all about?
Oh, the bloody, I'll do the fingering.
That was a weird thing.
So I don't even know if it was a joke or I giggled, but it's
like that was like Fassbender off the cuff or something.
Yeah. With himself, he's just like, I'll finger myself.
I was a little bit thrown off by that, actually.
I kind of let it slide because I'm like, yeah, David's a twisted prick.
Yeah. Well, it kind of helped that in a way. Like, I also wrote down here in bold, David is a creepy fuck.
Yeah, he is.
Like Fassbender, he like really did carry that film. Like both of them talking to each other was awesome.
Now that I'm thinking about it, like as a horror movie idea, the Fassbender character of David is just like that creepy haunted house kind of thing of like this weird guy doing experiments. Which is amazing, but they pissed on it by putting an alien in there.
No, I know. Yeah.
If you had just had the Covenant land.
Yeah.
And it's just David being this freaky fucker, like, who looks like he's helping them, but you realize, like, oh, there's this ship on the mountain, and he killed this girl, and you're like, oh wow, this guy's a twisted freak.
Yeah.
And didn't have the alien shit. Could have been a great movie.
Yeah. That's not what people want to see. No,
I think they could have sold it like that.
I don't know.
But the problem with trying to sell it like that is that you're dealing with David and Shaw. And Prometheus, and you have all this lag.
Yeah, people were affected.
So you have to bring these characters in. So you can't introduce Michael Fassbender as David, as this crazy guy on a planet, without having a link, which is
basically
there's aliens.
Alien Covenant is what they wanted Prometheus to be, but when Prometheus was slow moving, they asked for Prometheus. Yeah, people just were expecting the alien.
That's exactly what I think. I think if Alien Covenant had to come out when Prometheus came out, people would have
been happy. Yeah, they would have been really happy. Yeah,
Ridley's back. He's making an alien movie, and then Ridley didn't do that, and now they're just like, fix it.
Yeah,
and he can't.
I think
because
that's
what he wants to do and what the writers are trying to shoehorn in.
Yeah,
you end up with questions like that giant fossilized monster in Alien.
Yeah,
he had a chest burster break.
Yeah.
And there was eggs all around that ship. How did David do that?
Yeah.
You know, and it's just everything, because that happened thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
Because that the space jockey ship is there for thousands of years, hundreds of years.
Yeah, totally.
So like timelines don't work.
Yeah.
The
he's
movies
making
don't work anymore.
But yeah, I know.
It's just, he's making the face huggers and he's designing them and they look different than they did in the other movies. And you're just like, God damn it, just make the movie. Just make the movie where the one robot fingers the other robot. That's all I wanted to see. That's what I loved. I loved all that. Like,
it's upsetting. I was super happy.
Like, here's one thing that I don't think even got enough attention, and I think they passed on it, was this great beat where David takes Walter out into the garden.
Right.
And that's when he says the poem of Ozymandias. He says a bit of the poem.
Yeah.
It's a great poem. And he's looking out over all the dead people and what he's done.
Yeah.
And I'm like... And then he cries and he puts the flower on Shaw's grave. And I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, he knows how horrible a monster he is.
Sure.
But he's still doing it. But they left that. Then they just went down the crazy monster route of like, he's going to rape Daniels or whatever it was. And he kills Walter and, you know. I don't know. Like, there were so many great little things in it. I'm like, this is brilliant. This is a movie I want to watch.
Yeah, it's just
but you put
mangled
in an hour
with all the other stuff as well.
Just a car crash of a movie. But that's the thing, when you see a car crash, you want to look at it.
I know.
So I'm looking at this going, I kind of want to watch it again. Just because I just want to see.
I will watch it again for sure when it comes out on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever.
Maybe
but
we'll do a
I'm not in
commentary.
any. Yeah, we should do because there's lots of little points.
Yeah,
there's lots of little points which we'll miss and like. But I think you hit it on the head when you were like, it's Prometheus. It's all these things nailed into one, like trying to nail it into one. It's Prometheus. They wanted a bit of Alien in there. His hand was being forced for sure, and then I can't remember what else you said. You put it on. You put a nail in the head. No, I can't remember.
Ridley's drunk when he made it. That's what I say. But that's the thing. Like a Ridley Scott movie, as bad as it can be, still something you want to watch.
Yeah,
because you're just like, I don't know what's going on, but it looks great.
That's the thing.
It's not enough.
That's the thing.
But it's sort of like
it is.
There's so many good ideas in there.
Yeah. The soundtrack as well, that was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Like as soon as it started, I was like, oh, I'm well into this. And then even in the middle of it, I was like, I can see where they're going. Okay, like chest busters or back busters. Or they're a bit quick. What's going on here? And then it really just hit me the last 20 minutes with the thing. And I was like, I can see exactly what's happened here. What the fuck? You know?
I would have.
And also actually out of everyone... all the actors and stuff, just okay. Like I thought Shaw did a really good job in Prometheus.
Danny McBride was good.
So he wasn't bad. Yeah, he wasn't bad. But the lead, I don't know the lead female actor. I wasn't. Basically Ripley number 5 or whatever.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Daniels is the character.
Wasn't 100% on her. So I don't know. I just.
But it's the same. Like every one of them has to have a Ripley. Has to have a curly brown-haired girl. And stuff. Come on. Like she goes from her husband dying in a fiery, bloody death.
Yeah.
And then, like, having a breakdown. Then she has this great moment with Walter about, like, building the cabin. That first moment when she's thinking, like, what am I supposed to do now? And Walter's like, you build your cabin.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a great moment. The character there is good, but it always seems like that kind of Shaw character being weakish. Kind of, like, just forced along.
Sure.
And then at the end of it, she's, like, dangling off the fucking thing, shooting the alien, hitting it with the claw, and I'm like, what movie is this? Where did this come from?
Yeah.
Like she's freaking out the whole time, and now she's like action star,
Power Ranger or whatever.
Which I guess is like, it's like Alien with Sigourney Weaver was like, nah, she kind of needed to do it to survive.
Yeah,
you got Walter there. Let him do it. He's invincible and strong.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then there's like so many plot holes that like I've seen other people bring up that I also thought about when I was leaving. I'm like, oh, okay, that wasn't just me. Like Prometheus, the ship, no one went looking for it. Like they knew where the ship was going.
Right, yeah.
So like I also like finding people's solutions to it, and one of the solutions is just that was highly classified, and what's his name, Whalen, never told anybody.
Right.
So that's why no one went looking for the planet, because he kept it for a secret.
Makes sense.
Like, okay, fine. Then there's other things like, why does the ship not recognize David as Walter? Like, why is there not a warning on that? Like a microchip in him being like, this is a David model.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing of like, why can he override the security?
Yeah.
So then there was the thing of like, the Mother program was based off the David intelligence network.
Right.
So he made David, then he made Mother. So David is Mother.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, fine.
There's always an explanation.
But the thing is, like, these shouldn't be explanations. These shouldn't be things you're having to find.
But sometimes those
that
are
often.
No,
you know?
not that often.
Because there's so many in this. Like, why is this?
Yeah.
Why is Shaw? That's the other thing. Actually, now I think about it, Shaw didn't die. She gets killed at some point in the 10 years.
Yes.
Because she sends out that signal.
Yeah.
Which is the song.
Yeah.
Why is she sending out a song? What was she doing? Was it a warning or a call for help?
Right.
In which case, warn people or call for help. Don't fucking sing a 100-year-old human song.
Could it have been David that sent the song off though?
No, because remember they go to see the hologram.
Yeah.
And it's Shaw at the desk. And she's singing it.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And I'm like, I don't understand that one.
Right.
Because she's using it to send signals out.
Right,
Maybe that's why David killed her.
Yeah.
Again, another thing of like, you have to explain it.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to explain so many. I do like films where they keep you guessing a little bit.
Which is what Prometheus was for me. There's things that, like you said, like that
well, the whole ending to it was seeing the ship go off. You're like, oh, I wonder what's going on.
Yeah.
And
but I
suddenly
love the cave, which like what happened? Why did all those guys get killed? Was there a leakage?
Yeah. And
then there's the whole the paintings and the murals and stuff. And it's like, oh, did they worship the alien or whatever?
And there was an alien.
There's an alien. There's like clearly a Jesus kind of alien with its head down.
Meaning that David, after all of that,
he made the exact same thing.
But made the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's just like, so.
Which you explained like parallel thinking. They both had the idea and they both realized this is the best way.
Yeah. I think.
But why is making an egg a better way of making an alien than those spores that go in his ear and then make an alien?
Yeah, I know.
That's a lot easier than the facehugger, right?
Yeah.
Like the facehugger, you got to look.
I guess he's trying to perfect it.
There's not even point talking about that stupid fucker, that the captain who looks in on the bloody egg.
No, idiot. Like
fucking
again,
moron.
that's another.
A stupid guy.
We need to put this in here.
We need to get to a chest burster.
Yeah, we need to get to one of those. Let's put some scientists down on a planet without, head masks and stuff like that. They're fucking scientists. They're on an alien
Walter
planet.
down.
You know, there's wheat here. Why is wheat here? You know.
And the other thing about that pissed the hell out of me off was, what did they say? It was like a 7-week journey. No, it's 7 years.
7 years or a week.
And it was like a couple of weeks or something to wherever.
Yeah.
They spend a couple of weeks obviously sitting in that ship farting about.
Yeah.
Then they get to the planet and then there's a storm.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we can't go down in this storm. Oh, we'll take the shuttle down. Couldn't wait.
Yeah.
What was the rush?
I know.
You've been spending weeks getting there, and then you're like, oh, we have to go through. We can't wait for the storm to clear.
And that's the whole thing as well. I got some Prometheus vibes from that. I got the captain going, hey, you guys, there's a storm coming in. This and that. And I was like, it's fucking Idris again.
I know, it's the same
Idris
thing again.
Oh, there's a ship?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the same shape. Oh, it's that ship. It's just like, that. Like, again, it was just like, oh, I'm seeing the same things, a soundtrack, I'm seeing that vibe. Oh, it's fun. But then it's like...
Even the very opening shot was the same. Or not the very opening, but I remember one of my favorite shots in Prometheus is you see the tiny ship going across the screen like that.
Right.
And then they do that at the start where the Alien Covenant title comes up and you see the little ship going. It's just a little dot on the thing.
It's the little things.
But it's that thing of like...
It's not going to help it.
He's half remaking, half rebooting, half reimagining.
Yeah.
But it's none of those things because it's still an Alien movie.
Yeah. Needs to take more of a risk.
Why was Shaw's goddamn dog tags hanging in the ship?
Just look.
Because she clearly left the ship.
Yeah.
You know, because she sent the signal, and David killed her down in the thing.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
It's all like set up for me.
Actually, now that I think about it, David launched all the pods that killed everybody before they'd landed.
Yeah, well,
which means Shaw was still alive. Because Shaw sent the signal after they'd crashed.
I guess so, yeah.
And he killed Shaw on the planet because he cuts her open.
So
was she part of it? Did she say, Leia, let's
this
kill?
This is all good? So, Yeah.
Fuck.
More questions.
More questions.
More questions.
More stupid questions.
And we probably won't find out unless like there's a behind the scenes. That was the last thing I wrote down here is, will deleted scenes help this? Are they going to cover this up? Like
Prometheus had deleted scenes that did help.
Yeah, is it gonna patch it up? I don't think it's patchable, but I think they could maybe explain if maybe there was a couple of deleted scenes with like the whole, you know, where they're
when Shaw lands and all that.
Yeah. I mean, if there are, why the fuck cut them out? So.
My movie would have been based on what they had here. The Covenant goes to the first planet, finds all the shit there.
Yeah.
Then finds the signal, because remember at the end of that movie she leaves that signal saying anybody who finds this, stay away.
Oh sure. And that's what leads them to
Then the Covenant goes after that.
Yeah.
And they go to the planet.
Yeah.
Then you have the horror movie, which is David, and David looks like he's all right.
Yeah.
And then you have all this reveal of like, oh, he's a fucking mental case.
Yeah.
And you don't have any alien in it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's just not going to sell for them. They'd want to see more aliens.
Or there's already an alien egg there.
Sure.
That he's protecting.
Yeah.
Like a perfect egg. That like,
yeah. Actually, that would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. And he's like super protective over it. And they're like, what the hell are you doing here? And then that's where
and he doesn't necessarily make it. He just realizes it's perfect.
Yeah. And then like there's a big scene where it's just like they're saying like, are you fucked?
Yeah.
Are you fucked in the head or whatever? And then halfway through the scene, it fucking comes out.
And then you have an alien movie or whatever. Yeah.
Maybe it grabs them and it's on their face, and then David just doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
he
just leaves them.
It's like, perfect.
Yeah.
Like that.
Because in Alien, the original movie, the reason they go to LV429, whatever the bloody number is, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Is because they get a signal, right? And it's what is it? The mother on the ship says that they have to go. It's a command that's brought in from Weyland-Yutani.
Right.
If anybody gets a signal from a planet, they have to go.
Right.
So all you've got to do is have the Covenant discovers David, discovers his alien life forms, and that's what leads to the command into the system, which leads you into Alien.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain that David made the fucking aliens.
Yeah.
Which is so stupid.
No, I know.
Oh, good movie though.
Good movie. Good movie.
Told you, man. We were going to go off on that one.
I know.
It's just because it's the good bits are good and the bad bits are bad.
It is. It's one of those films where, like, yes, I kind of do want to watch it again. Not for like another couple of months, but
do you think it's because we know so much and care so much?
I think
if you just walked in,
I think it is. I was doing a bit of reading up on it because I was just curious to see people's thoughts on like David at the end. It really pissed me off, like what he was doing.
Yeah.
And as I was reading it, there was actually quite a few people saying like, I absolutely loved that the Xenomorph was in at the end, and like I loved that scene, some of my favorite bits and stuff. So I was like, oh really? I was like, you literally could have cut that out of the film, and I would have preferred the film. Like I would have probably given it another star. Like I would have given it a 7 or whatever. So there are people out there, and that's exactly why they did it. It's because people want to see the alien and they want to see a film like that.
They'll have their screams and be like, "Oh my god!" Yeah.
For me, I loved the first half of it. I was loving with the Prometheus vibes and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what people didn't like about the first one.
Yeah.
It's hard to please everyone. But I do think they kind of mashed it up. It was a bit too Hollywood.
Yeah, and then we learned the lesson we always learn is that if you try and please everyone, you please nobody.
Yeah, and have some questions at the end, sure, but don't mess it all up with David like coughing shite up, and then you questioning just Prometheus that came before it and the legendary Alien film.
Yeah,
and blatantly, we're not going to get a follow up.
Maybe
we will eventually.
We will because they're never going to stop making alien movies. Are
the answers going to come through a film, or is it just going to come through like commentary from Ridley Scott or something? Hopefully not. But
when the film's out on DVD, we'll definitely have to do a commentary. Cause
I think
this is something we have to go back to.
Yeah, I really enjoyed doing the Prometheus one because I just love that film. There's obviously flaws in it and things here and there, but this one, I think this one's actually going to be a rage one because we love.
I think so. Yeah.
We love Ridley Scott. We love his films, but he just messed it up, and it's maybe not necessarily his fault.
He's telling the little bits he wants to tell,
and
just not paying attention to the rest.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't give a fuck about the stupid guys and the like. Oh, how do we get the alien?
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes to have a cigarette and he
I
gets
did
a spore.
something I did like. I'm trying to find the moments I did like.
Trying to think of
the
pick
female engineers, like they showed them off.
Oh, they did show that, yeah.
I thought that was kind of cool. I'm digging deep here.
You're trying to find something. Like it's like you said, when you watch it, you know there's something great in there. Yeah. And it just got shat about.
It did,
and
yeah.
It's like you find this, you're getting served a dinner and it's like a beautiful piece of meat or something in the middle of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, if you didn't fuck around with all this bloody gravy and mash and food and all this,
yeah,
it would be perfect. So that's why we keep watching it. We're just like you said, that vibe, like that Ridley vibe.
Yeah.
If you could just get that,
yeah,
you get Prometheus.
Yeah.
And if he can just reel in, if he could just get someone telling him to reel in this part, or someone telling him no, you get Alien.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now he's at the stage of his career where he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
That's the thing.
And the studio are like, well, make sure you do this and this. And he's like, all right, fine, whatever.
Yeah, I'll throw it in there.
And it's just like, oh man, you're still brilliant.
Yeah.
But it's getting so watered down.
Yeah. One last thing was the alien at the end where it went out the locker or whatever, and like the space thing.
The thing hits him, yeah.
It was like, it kind of reminded me of bloody, I guess it was Alien 2?
Alien 1 and 2.
Alien 1 and 2,
Alien 1, she blows the door and he goes out.
So it reminded me of that again, and I was just like, surely there's another way for this thing to bloody go instead of just into the vacuum of space, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, just...
No, but that's what it's like.
Again, it reminded me of those films.
Yeah, it's reboot time.
So,
it's like, why are you rebooting a film that's a sequel?
Yeah.
How can you make a reboot sequel?
Yeah.
Reboot, sequel, prequel as well, because it's like happening before the original Alien, and it's happening before
so many
prequel,
so
sequel,
many
reboot. Only Ridley Scott can do it.
You also mentioned something earlier on, which I thought was kind of cool. It would have been great if Shaw was the Queen.
Yeah.
That would have been kind of cool.
Because then at least you understand what he did with Shaw.
Sure.
Instead of just making the egg.
Yeah. So.
Because there's at least 6 eggs or something back there.
Yeah, I was wondering. I couldn't. There definitely was, yeah.
And I know he said he did an experiment, so I'm guessing he took some of the bodies or the corpses.
Right.
Or maybe there were other engineers on the planet that he hunted down. But like they said at one point, there's no birds, there's no wildlife. It kills everything on that planet.
Yeah.
But then you're left with the question of, where is everything? Where are all these dead bodies? Right. Where are all these aliens that killed all these bloody birds and bears and whatever? Yeah. It's just, it just doesn't care. He doesn't care. He just wants to get to what he wants to do.
I know, yeah.
And the things that he wants to do are things that I want to watch.
Those are the little things, in the little details of him just showing like a whole forest of dead birds, and then an alien, or like a cave where it's got 1,000 aliens in there, all on the walls. Those little scenes where it pans across and you see that, you're like, oh god, that's good, you know.
Or but like, what if you got to the point where all the aliens, because there wouldn't have all been xenomorphs, there would have been like the white ones and all that kind of shit. Yeah. Like after everything's dead, they all just massacred each other.
They fight
because they're all so hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
They all just kill each other. So you like, you have this graveyard of like alien things. You're like, holy fuck. Yeah. I mean, that could be the thing that David convinces the Covenant people, being like, oh yeah, I did this. I killed all these monsters. Sure. And he's like, he's a good guy.
Those are the things I'm okay with us guessing and talking about. Yeah. It's the more important things which piss me off. Yeah. You know. So
the things that like just take you out of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. So. But we'll always remember the fingering. So. A fingering moment. Yeah. I'm glad I saw it. I'm glad they made it. I'm just disappointed with where it ended up. It could have been a lot better. It could have been worse, not a lot worse. But but there's something about letting it sit for 24 hours with me where I'm like, but I do like those Prometheus Ridley vibes. Yeah. Like, no one does space scenes and planets and scores and, you know, just walking around a planet. Like, all of that stuff at the beginning, I was just like, I'm loving this, I'm loving this, I'm loving it. And then it just slowly went into, like, a Hollywood action
one
film.
of the things is I love them exploring the planet, going to the wheat and all that. But it just felt so boring because I know where they were going.
No, I know, yeah.
And then when you get there, all you find out is Shaw's dead.
Yeah. Yeah. That was
Shaw's not there.
That was a slap in the face.
And you're just like, why am I watching 10 minutes of them? Like, the 10 minutes was great because I thought you're getting somewhere, and then you get nowhere. Yeah. You're only getting to the point of the two guys get sick.
Yeah.
It's like, piss off. But yeah, same as you. I'm glad I saw it.
Yeah.
But could have been worse. Could have been a lot better.
Could have been a lot better. Could have been a little bit worse.
Could have been a little bit worse. Could have been a lot better.
Prometheus for me was better.
Yeah.
So I won't put it in with the other Alien films because it's weird to categorize them.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
That's the world we live in now. They've all got to be in there. It's not even about being obsessed with the canon. If you had like I said, if you've never seen another Alien movie, this movie doesn't make sense.
No. No, it doesn't make sense.
If I just watched this as its own movie,
yeah,
and just said it's not a sequel or anything, it's not.
You wouldn't know, but then it would mess up when you do watch Alien 1. You'd be like, well, hang on a second, what's the eggs doing here? Stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to repair that, fix that, but
I would never know. So that's our movies for this week.
That is the movie reviews for this week.
Games.
Yeah, we'll go into the good old game. Onto some games. Well, we keep mentioning it each week, but E3 is approaching. It's approaching fast. So it starts on Sunday for Xbox.
Right.
We keep mentioning Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, and there's two other guys. There's EA. They have their own conference because they're so big. EA have their own one. And then there's another... I don't know if you know of these people, but you'll know of their games. But there's another company called Bethesda. And they're the ones...
Oh, Fallout.
And they bought ID Software. They actually bought the guys that made Doom.
Oh, yeah?
So they own them. But so they've got Doom, like the new Doom's great. They've got Wolfenstein, which is... They remade that.
Doom,
Fallout,
Nazis.
Pretty much. And then Skyrim and all that lot. So they've all got conferences. So at the end of this, I'm going to do some predictions for E3 because it's coming up so soon.
Yeah.
We've done it in the past, but we might as well just set them on this one. But yeah, just there's a few little things here. I wanted to mention an iOS one because it came out at the conference yesterday, and one of the things Apple are doing is they're redesigning their App Store. So the whole App Store is going to be redesigned for, I think, September, just because they've got so many apps, and their biggest thing in the App Store is games. So they've redesigned how you can discover games. But while they did that, they were like, hey, I'm going to click on this game here, and they revealed and launched a game, and it's I don't know if you played it on Android. I think it is on Android, but it's called Monument Valley. It's like a cool little 3D
like
kind
of cowboy place?
3D platformer. No, it's like you're this little kind of vector dude that walks around these platforms, and it's like you see it at an angle in 3D, and you can spin round the platforms that you're walking on. Right. So you might walk up some stairs, and then you can change the staircase like halfway you walk up and change directions. So you walk up another side of it, and then you've got to spin round.
Wait, isn't that bloody indie game Fez?
It's not that one, but it's actually it looks kind of like that, but it's exactly the same premise,
same dynamic,
kind of going round,
right?
You know? So it's
2D, and then you spin
and you can spin it around, and then you might be walking up a staircase, and while
Apple stole it.
It's not Apple's. It's done by another. But anyway, it's number 2, so they already had their first. It's like one of the best-selling games in the App Store. I'm pretty sure it's on Android as well, but number 2 is exclusive. So usually when I mention games, it's like PlayStation or Xbox. But it's just like this is a pretty awesome game, and it's on iOS now. So I just wanted to mention that guy. Wipeout, which we're going to do a little play of that. So Wipeout came out today.
Yep.
So I'm going to be downloading it on the PlayStation. So we've got an Injustice play that we did where we had a lot of fun with.
Kicking the crap out of each other.
Tried to guess some of the characters. There was a couple that kind of we couldn't
threw us a little bit.
So we'll see how well you guys do. As we go through, we've left it a couple of seconds so you guys can have a little guess. And then, Wipeout. Super looking forward to that. That's like a throwback to PlayStation
childhood memory, brilliance.
PlayStation 2. I think what's going to be fun is just setting Paul off on the fastest track and seeing
how quickly I crash,
seeing if he is able to blink or not.
It's going to be like the end of a Clockwork Orange. You're going to put them open with matchsticks.
Got bloody like sellotape or matchsticks. Tekken 7, we know that came out. That's another big one for me. That is in the charts, so it's made the charts. Tekken's a funny game. It's like it's very Japanese market, in the Asian market. So it's popular over here, but it's never really made the charts. Tekken 1 originally came out on PlayStation 1, and it was in the charts because the PlayStation was like so new, it was brand new.
Any game that came out was going to jump
up.
Yeah,
they were like, oh, it's a 3D fighting game. That's awesome. It's not been in the charts since. So Tekken 7 is in the top 10. I'm not sure it's like 6 or 7.
Right.
So it's not been in there since 1998.
Wow.
So that's
nearly 20 years.
That's great for the franchise. So looking forward to diving into that, but I think we'll finish Injustice first and then get through that one. It's too many games.
Too many games. Too many movies.
That's a problem. We've talked.
We're complaining because we have too much entertainment in our lives. Oh, what a horrible, horrible world we live in.
I know.
We've got so much entertainment at our fingertips. It's awful.
We've got our Xboxes, our PlayStations, our iOS devices. You know, Crazy Taxi. Did anyone download that? Probably not.
Probably not.
It's just like, it's free, but no one downloaded it. You know, it's just like, I don't have time for the download.
I don't have time. I'm playing my Zeldas and my bloody Mario's.
FIFA 18. FIFA 18 is coming out on the PlayStation and the Xbox. It's going to be a dumbed down version for the Switch. So the Switch is going to get FIFA 18, but it's not going to be running on the same like super nice graphics.
Yeah.
FIFA actually runs on the same graphics engine as Battlefield 1.
Does it?
So they actually use the same graphics engine. So like all the facial animations and everything, like it could all be done in FIFA. It uses the same thing. Technically, you could just put Ronaldo on the battlefield. Like they could
say a few people want to shoot him. Yeah.
Oh yeah, or the other way around, you know. But that was that's a little disappointing because a lot of people are like, oh, it looks great. You know, FIFA 17 looks great. It's using the same engine. Yeah. And everyone's like, oh, they showed off FIFA on the Switch, but it was very kind of just in the background. Oh, that's a football game. We know it's coming out, and EA says FIFA's coming out on it, but everyone's like, is it the same version? And it's like, it is FIFA 18, but it's just like a Switch version, which means it's shite. It just means it's not as good. Yeah. So, which is a little disappointing, but
they didn't put as much effort in.
We had the questions, and
Ronaldo was in it.
Yeah, it's like they missed out some letters of his name.
Yeah,
can't afford all the graphics rendering of the art.
Brazil.
So, the sound, the voices are all.
The commentator's 5 minutes behind what's happening in screen. Oh, what a shot!
It's all mono sound and so MIDI. So that one there. And then something else that this is just before leading into the E3 predictions, because there's going to be a lot of gaming news coming up. So this is just going to be like kind of a quick segment, but I found this one interesting. I was watching a TV show and they mentioned it was an auction show, and some guy brought in it was like an old school Scalextrics, and it was made by Nintendo. And he was like, "Oh, this is like a little Scalextrics thing. It has Nintendo on the box. It had some missing parts." Right. But I was like, "What the heck is Nintendo?" So and then they had a couple of facts about Nintendo, so I looked up some. Nintendo, I didn't know this, but they started in playing cards. That was the first thing they ever. They didn't get into electronics for 50 years after or something. Right. You know, they started in playing cards. They were erotic playing cards as well.
Oh yeah,
and you can find them online, and they've got
sexy.
I know you like your cards as well. I think they had
especially erotic ones.
One with these Asian women with clothes on, and then I think the next card was the version of her without clothes on.
Oh, okay.
It was one with and
like
one
a flip book.
Yeah, it was it was almost Flick It, which I kind of I found that really interesting. And then I read two other interesting things. They had is it love hotels that they call them in Japan?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, so they have a love hotel, or they started with that.
Yeah.
And a taxi service.
Really?
Yeah.
Nintendo taxi.
Apparently the taxi service didn't really work out because of a union thing or something. But yeah, love hotel, which was strange, is erotic cards. And then
Nintendo love hotel.
Eventually they went into electronics, and you'd think Mario was their first one, but it was actually Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong.
Oh, I knew that one.
Was the first guy
because it was the Donkey
Mario
Kong
was
game.
In there, I think.
Yeah,
he wasn't.
He was just the plumbery guy you play.
And the only reason why he's wearing the overhauls and stuff is because they only had a certain amount of bits, pixels.
Yeah.
And if they just made him, he just would have looked like a red square. So they gave him overhaul, the two
lines,
things, because that's the definition they could have got. So that's why he became that, and then that literally decided that he was a plumber.
Yeah, it's always the way things are. People think they make the choices no, it's just kind of how you got stuck with it. Like Superman's only the colors he is because back in the day that was the only colors you could print.
That's really interesting.
You could print yellow, red, blue, That's it.
Is that true?
Yeah.
That's
and
interesting.
green, I guess.
I like that.
So what they tried to do is put as many colours as possible into his outfit.
So green was just kryptonite.
Kryptonite, yeah. But they had the crest was yellow, red, and black, and then the suit was blue, and the cape was red.
Wow.
Because it's all the bloody print.
I love little things like that.
Yeah.
So.
But like the Mario thing's the same. It's like, no, they didn't design them.
Yeah.
It's like, what can we do? Give them overalls. Do it.
I think that should be one of our questions or topics. My brother mentioned about shipping. You know, like when you're online and you click on something, you're like, oh, what's the shipping on it? It's like, they're not shipping it to you, mate. Yeah. It's like, it's just, I love that we still use that word.
Determining, yeah.
You know? It's just
shipping it over to you.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? He's up the road. I can see the factory. They're going to drone it to me.
Nintendo still use the same logo as well, which is kind of cool. So, do you know Ubisoft?
Yeah.
They just...
they changed their logo.
They changed their logo,
yeah.
And they simplified it. But I guess with Nintendo, it's just
Umbrella.
very slick and whatever. Yeah, Umbrella, cool. And then just leading in with the E3 predictions. So Xbox is on Sunday. So we've got Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, Bethesda, and EA. So next week, it will be the week after where we'll be talking about it all. So we'll go into detail with it. And then we'll kind of bring up this little segment and see kind of
what you got wrong,
whether we got right or wrong. But some of them are like, they're not going to be like super detailed. Like Xbox, we know they're going to talk about Scorpio. Something they just did today before we walked in here was they trademarked a logo. It's an S, and it's got a little cut through the S. So one thing that'll be interesting is if they actually call it Scorpio. Scorpio is always like a code name, you know, like Nintendo, the N64. Yeah, its code name was Dolphin.
Right,
pretty sure it was Dolphin. Yeah, and then every console usually has a code name.
Yeah.
So I think the S is probably going to be because, you know, like with the iPhone S.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it's going to be like Xbox S or something.
Yeah.
And S is going to be for
Xboxes,
like super or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like supercharged or
the Xbox Nintendo.
So,
hey, you guys can't do that.
It'd be interesting if they call it Scorpio though. I don't actually mind the name Scorpio.
Scorpio's fine.
Yeah.
I guess they just don't want to connect it to like Hank Scorpio, the world's most famous supervillain.
Well, yeah. Technically, they are a bit of a villain. But so we know that we're going to see Scorpio. My prediction is, and I guess it's a fairly obvious one, but it's just we're going to see them show off a lot of 4K games because their system's like 4K.
Yeah.
But I think what they need to do, and I think what they will do, is they'll show off, hey, Call of Duty's coming out. It's, you know, the new Call of Duty's coming out in November.
Yep.
This is it on PlayStation. This is it on Scorpio.
Right.
And they're going to do comparisons, and they're going to go, ours is 30% sharper, and this, and that.
And the PlayStation one looks like Mario on Donkey Kong. It's just a red square.
And then
they'll run around.
I think they'll get a big guy. They'll do something like, here's Red Dead Redemption. This is what everyone's going to play. That got delayed, as we discussed.
Yeah.
So, but like, can you imagine them getting these big names? You know, Red Dead Redemption. Everyone's on their horse.
Yeah.
You know, like they'll probably show like a really cool gameplay, and then halfway through it'll go, oh, and now we're playing on Scorpio, and it's going to be like, boom,
right?
It's going to be even sharper, and everyone's going to be like, what? You know,
that horse looks real.
That'd be kind of cool, like showing off. What's another one, like Star Wars Battlefront? Like that's going to be huge. Battlefront 2. Yeah. So you're in an X-wing, and suddenly before you know it, it's just like, oh, now we're playing on Scorpio, and it's like even sharper, and graphics are better. It'd
be great if they did like a timeline progression of like you see one of the original Star Wars games, like 16-bit, 24-bit.
Yeah, just show like
just like the trench run or something. You just see it getting better and better, and it's like Scorpio.
Yeah, Scorpio. Yeah, one of the ships in the Star Wars is called Scorpio.
Yeah,
this is like, so I'm definitely predicting that. And then price. This is actually an interesting one. They've already said it's going to be fairly expensive. I'm predicting it's going to be expensive. It's going to be $4.99 US, and I think it's going to actually be $5.99 over here. I think it's going to be expensive because they said it's a powerhouse. You know, so that could be their downfall. As if it is $5.99 Canadian, if they go lower than that, it's possible they might go $3.50.
Is that going to come with like a headset, VR headset?
It won't come with a VR headset, but there's a lot of talk which they might pair with Oculus, or they might actually go and do their own thing.
Okay.
But the trouble is they're already launching their own console. They don't really want to say, hey, we got a console. Oh, and by the way, there's a headset as well. They really want to just focus on the console.
Yeah.
So I think they might just focus on the console and then maybe say like, oh, and you'll hear more about the headset in like November. Or
what if they just say it costs $200? Just destroy the market.
Like
everyone's like, I'll buy 4.
Well, that's one thing is if they come out with 300, 350, it means they're probably going to be taking a loss, but it means they mean serious business.
They want to take the market share out.
Yeah. So
because if you look at it in terms of what PlayStation do, a lot of their money isn't from selling the console. It's from getting you every week or every month on the PlayStation Network where you pay whatever it is, $5.
Yeah, and all their games. They've just got so many games. Like this month, I want to get Tekken. I want to get Wipeout. I want to get Crash. There's also an indie game I've not even mentioning that I want to buy as well. Yeah. So this month for me is like $150 game month. Yeah. And then if you get people like that, because they've got so many games, if you get people like that every month, plus the PlayStation subscription, plus every now and again, God of War, it's only $3. Yeah. It's like you're laughing.
That's where the Xbox are like, we don't need to sell 10 million consoles. We need to sell 20 million consoles. Yeah. And then get 20 million subscribers. Yeah. That's where we'll make our money. Yeah. So take the loss on the console, make the money on the subscriber.
Yeah, I think that's the smart move. So
we'll see. And it puts pressure on PlayStation.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be like. I'm interested to see how PlayStation do, because my prediction for PlayStation is as simple as they're going to show off a ton of games. They're going to announce a couple more exclusives. Like they're going to bring back a couple of games. I'm sure there's going to be like Siphon Filter or something like that. They're going to bring back an old school game. It's going to be like they've already got their God of Wars, their Crashes. I'm trying to think what it would be. But like an old school PlayStation game, which you're like, oh man,
GoldenEye.
I want to play that again.
Going to take the N64's classic.
They could take something like that. Yeah. You never know. That's actually going to be more. That would be more Xbox because they own
Time Crisis.
But still, Time Crisis. Yeah, and it comes with the gun. And
the gun,
and it's VR. Yeah, PlayStation VR.
Oh my god, I'd never leave.
So, like they're going to come out with stuff like PlayStation. That's all they need to do. And then the big thing for them is their game is going to be God of War. Their new God of War. Yeah. It's just going to be plastered everywhere. So it's just going to be like, when you say E3 2017, it's going to be like, did you see God of War? Right. Like whatever trailer they show, it's just going to be him smashing a Scorpio. Something like that. So that's my prediction for that one. Nintendo, I think they need to bring lots of games as well, but I think they're going to bring Smash Bros. Right. So it's going to be Smash Bros. Everyone loves it. I think they're going to announce it. I don't think it'll be out until Christmas or even next year. But just announcing it, people knowing that this handheld console is going to have Smash Bros. Is going to do really well. And then they're going to show shit tons of Mario, because Mario's out in like November. Right. So and hopefully, fingers crossed, they don't delay that because they need games.
Oh, if you don't have another game out this year, like
like a big one. Yeah. And it's just like people are just like, well, Zelda's fun. For the 5th time, So
I played it backwards this time.
As long as they're announcing like, or they do have this other one called Splatoon, which is big, but which is coming out this year. But still, if they announce that Smash Bros is coming out, I think it just gets people excited. Like we're not into that game, but if you were to tell a couple of people here like Smash Bros coming out on it, then at least you're going to have people saying, I'll save for it and I'll get it at Christmas, or I'll save for it and I'll get it when that comes out. But they've got it in their mind that they're going to get it. And when they do get it, they're like,
we record this in an asylum and everyone here's crazy. So they're crazy for waiting that long for a bloody game.
That's what all the banging was.
Get a PlayStation. So get a real game. Get a game that comes out every week. You don't have to wait. Well, there's another game coming out next year.
If you can afford it,
for my Switch.
So, if you can afford it. Then Bethesda. So I'm not really into Fallout games or the Skyrims, but there's I know
you
that
hate
they
did, which we've talked about.
I just hate everyone really. So like everyone in this room.
And a lot of those games involve you like connecting to people and building a life and talking.
Yeah, that's social things. All that lot. Yeah,
you just want to crash planes and punch people.
Yeah,
that's the type of games you want. Yeah.
Punching and crashing the plane at the same time is the ideal scenario.
So. A giant boxing glove shaped plane just punching its way as it crashes.
I think we're only ever going to see that in Green Lantern, because he can probably do that.
Can't wait till he comes back. Going to be so much fun seeing Ryan Reynolds back.
Ryan Reynolds again. For them, I think they're going to have Wolfenstein. So they made a remake of Wolfenstein.
It's been a while since I killed Nazis.
Super popular game. So I think they're going to bring out a sequel to that. And then also, I don't know too much about these guys, but I think they're going to actually have just a brand new game. I think they're just going to come out with a new game, and they're going to be like, we've been working on this. And it's just going to be not a franchise thing. It's not going to be
Halo.
Like Marvel or whatever.
Did you say Halo? Nope. Halo.
Just say, Halo. That'd be hilarious. It sounds a lot like Halo. It's Halo.
No, it's Halo.
So it's got
What's it about? It's about shooting people in space.
It's got 2 A's in it. So. And then lastly, EA. Well, we both know Battlefront 2. It's just going to be all over the freaking shop.
When is that again? November?
Yeah, that'll be November.
So prime time just for the film. She's going to take November off.
Prime time for the film.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to be Scorpio, probably 4K, PlayStation Pro.
I think when that comes out, we'll have to do a live stream of me and you all-nighter.
Big time.
Just playing the shit out of that game.
We should do that, actually. Yeah, just something where we're just playing the hell out of it.
Just bring me back to my childhood.
We just I
say childhood, I was probably in my 20s. I was a grown man with a job and a house. But just being like, well, I'm playing Star Wars all night.
Yeah. So we're done here.
So we're done. Get a takeaway, get some chippers, and be all set.
Takeaway in a game. There's nothing better than it.
Oh, no.
That might be this weekend. It might be Wipeout. I'm not going to have time to eat. I'm not going to.
You got too many games.
Well, no, it's just with Wipeout. You can't take your eyes off the screen. I'm looking forward to the soundtrack on that. Anyway, EA, Battlefront 2, we're going to see lots of single player because that's what people are asking for. Yeah. So we're going to have a live demo on screen where they're going to play, and then someone's going to go, "Hey, Jack, I'm going to join you in the X-Wing up here," and stuff like that. Yeah. Or it's going to be a TIE fighter because I think you're playing the bad guys in this. But so that's going to be cool. And then the other thing, EA, is they've been getting into indie games a little bit more because they've got the big franchises. So I think we're going to see a few more cool. Yeah,
once you have every major sports team in the world, you're pretty much okay.
They're going to show off FIFA, obviously, FIFA 18.
Yeah, FIFA, NHL, NFL. And
NFL's huge for them, but FIFA is their top-selling game.
Yeah, around the world. Everywhere except this part of the world, it's the biggest game.
Yeah.
And every year you buy it. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Like, you've already got the 17.
I think they bundle it in on consoles in Europe. Like PlayStation comes with like FIFA the Christmas or something.
Yeah, every Christmas it's the new Xbox with FIFA 16.
Yeah, that's just done. We're done here. You know, it's just like, what other games you got? It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Give me FIFA. Yeah.
It's like, what did you say? The Switch version's dumbed down? What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
So, we do love the Switch. We do.
We do. We haven't played it and we don't own one, but we love it.
We have played it.
Oh, yeah, we did. I played a bit of Zelda.
About 3 minutes. So. And then the indie games. So I think they're going to be hitting some of the smaller type games. But what they tend to do is they look at studios out there and they're like, wow, you're onto something really great. And they'll either partner with them or even just buy them, you know. But the good thing with that is that...
Do you want to partner with us? No. Well, we're going to buy you then.
Well, we're just going to buy the whole company. Okay.
Shit, we should partner.
But then, you know, a lot of people criticize the big guys like EA. They're just like, oh, you have all these big games and like you're not even thinking about what you're doing. Like there's no story here. It's just graphics or whatever. Whereas with the indie game, it's just like we're supporting these guys or we've got this really cool game coming out and everyone's like, wow, that's really original. So it's like they're buying their originality.
Yeah,
so
exactly. They're like, we're going to make $1 bajillion on FIFA.
Yeah.
But we're going to make sure people think we're the good guy.
Yeah. It's pretty much that, unfortunately. But I think they will.
It's a win-win kind of, because the indie gets the support to make their game.
It's good to see that support.
And then EA gets to bask. It's like when big corporations do the charity runs or whatever. It's like, well, you can't really complain because the charity gets a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And, you know, the bank looks good or the... Whatever. It's fine. Yeah. So that's EA. There's like, we're too rich to be original. Let's just buy it.
Just buy them. So, and that is pretty much it. Like I said, we'll go back to exactly these parts. Like I'll grab this little segment for when we talk about E3. Yep. And then I'll play each of them and see if I got it right.
If you got it right, I'll play it on your phone.
Ding, ding, ding,
so, ding. Next week I'll play the Alien Covenant review we did, and I'll just be like, yeah, I still agree with that.
That was, I have to say, the Alien review that we just did there was my favorite review so far. It was because
just me and you
we're both just so passionate about it. But it was my favorite review because there's so many holes, but there's so many lovely moments.
A movie that we care about, so it's good. Yeah,
70%, 75, 80% holes. Unfortunately, 20%. That 20% that I loved, we're going back to fucking Alien.
Yeah.
That 20% that I loved just shines.
It's that ledge that we're holding onto. You're just like, you know, when you're not falling into the cliff of
you know when the sun is shining behind the clouds and it's trying to get through and you see those rays? It's that, but it's being blocked by all the shite. That is exactly, it's that sun moment.
Alien shite.
Shite. Yeah, that is it for the week.
That is our movies. That is our games. That's our tech.
Plenty to talk about.
Big L week there, yeah.
So, and then we're going to have Injustice coming up and Wipeout as well.
Yep. And we might have a commentary next week too for you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, one of us is away. I won't say which one, but it's definitely me.
But yeah, let us know.
And we'll have to get your thoughts on E3 as it's happening. Maybe you can live tweet it or something.
For sure, yeah, we'll do it. We'll get you some stuff going down because starts Sunday.
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
I want to hear what you have to say about like someone comes out and goes, "Oh, Scorpio's not coming out till next year." You're like, "What the fuck?"
But what about my predictions? Actually, I had the Apple conference on. It was on live, and as it was on, and you can buy these Macs now. I was literally just in the house on my own. I was like, "That's because it's been out for 5 months already." I was like, just shouting.
Just a neighbor in the backyard being like, "What is that? God, he's off on one again."
Is he talking to that guy? Or? But yeah.
Anything else for this week?
No, I think that's about it.
Cool.
So, yeah, let us know what you guys think about.
As always, give
about
us
all
your
these
thoughts,
topics about
questions,
Alien or
everything.
E3 coming up or any of the. Do you guys believe in aliens?
Do you guys believe in aliens too? Yeah. We're at rantandbollocks at gmail.com or just at rantandbollocks on Twitter if you want to do it that way.
Oh, yeah.
Or on the Facebook or on the YouTube. I think that's about every way you can contact us. You could send us a letter, but we don't have an address.
Yeah.
Madhouse.com.
But send us one anyway.
Send us a letter, yeah. We didn't have any letters this week, but we did have a Twitter poll.
Oh, yeah.
Our Twitter poll was, should we go visual for our podcast?
Yeah.
We had yes, 89%. Nobody said no.
Okay.
But we did have 11% of people asking, why do I hate Superman? So we'll answer that question when we do a visual podcast.
I think you've answered that already.
I think we'll work on, we'll turn it into a little camera show.
Yeah, we're thinking that's going to happen sooner than later, but we are on YouTube.
Yep.
That's our main audience, but we are obviously on iTunes as well. But we want to go a bit visual. You'll be able to see our reactions. So when we hate on Alien,
freak out about Alien,
you'll be able to see us.
Also, when you're describing things and people can see your hands, so that you're not like, what is he on about? Turning, twisting.
Yeah,
it's about this big.
I know.
It's about that long.
You'll be able to see exactly how big we're talking. So.
It's at least this big.
Yeah, and as well as that, we do have a little competition coming up as well, which we won't talk too much about, but it's more of a thank you.
Yep, we got one of them popping up too.
Yeah,
got a lot coming up in the next few months.
Yeah,
because we love you guys.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say love.
No,
we appreciate.
Kind of.
Nah, we love the guys.
Yeah,
it's great for people listening. Oh, and if everybody doesn't know by now, every week I plug Omaze.com. This week it's because I think it's the last week. Oh no, yeah, it's the last week for the Robert Downey Jr. competition. So you can go meet Robert Downey Jr. on the set of The Avengers, and it's like $10 to enter. But you can spend $100 or $1,000 and get like special signed prizes and posters and toys and everything, and all the money goes to charity. So it's bloody win-win.
Bloody good deal. Bloody good deal.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that. Omaze.com/experiences is in there. There's also still that competition to get Arnold Schwarzenegger as your life coach.
Oh yeah.
You get to fly out and spend the day with him. Smoke a stogie. Go to the gym. Get down. It'd be great. So, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, you got anything else, at Rant and Bollocks on Twitter or at Rant and Bollocks. No, it's not at Rant and Bollocks. It's just Rant and Bollocks at gmail.com.
Yeah.
That's Bollocks with an
Everyone's
OX.
been doing the at, so that's why we've got nothing.
That's why we got no letters, which is great because we don't like letters because it makes us freak out and realize there's real people out there.
Exactly.
But if you are out there, thanks for listening.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, take care of yourselves, guys.
All right. Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
Boom.